Here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, a lot of people were asking themselves yesterday during the evening rush hour, why was light rail service disrupted? Well, we got the answer for you. Turns out that a 70-year-old woman, she drove her car onto the tracks and continued driving on the tracks until she finally got stuck on an elevated guideway near one of the stations. So, why did she drive on the tracks as opposed to, say, I don't know, the street? Well, she was following her GPS. And look, she's far from the first person to follow GPS to their own peril, and I'm sure she will not be the last. But it does beg the question, do you drive with your eyes closed? I mean, GPS is a fine asset, but you still need to use common sense. If GPS says turn left, and to your left there's a cliff, don't turn left. Do not follow GPS to hell. In fact, we use technology all the time, and we just need to use it as a tool, not gospel. For example, according to a few quick AI searches, we were told this morning the benefits of eating your boogers, of eating one rock a day, the benefits of smoking, and the benefit of serial killers. Just throwing it out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's AI. Now, it should be no surprise that a study found that about half of all medical advice from chatbots were wrong. But that also means that half of medical advice from chatbots is right. And that's probably about on par with human advice. Not necessarily with medicine, but advice about anything, right? It depends on the person you ask and the advice that you get. And all of us have sought out someone's advice to deal with whatever situation. It's inevitable. Subsequently, whether you are qualified or not, someone has come to you for advice. And sometimes we get it right, and sometimes we get it wrong. So today, we're here to talk about advice. Some advice is better than others. So today's question, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair. We want to know, what's the best or worst advice you've given or received?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com, and I'll watch the show live on YouTube at KISW Rock.
Craving a zero sugar sweet treat, perfectly caffeinated to keep you cruising all afternoon? Sparkling Ice has just what you need. Presenting the Sparkling Ice Caffeine Soda Shop Collection. Nostalgic flavors like cherry cola, root beer, and orange cream. Modestly caffeinated with 70 milligrams of caffeine for the perfect pick-me-up. Find Soda Shop flavors online or in the sparkling water aisle.
As a woman entrepreneur, you know that every connection counts, whether it's with your customers, your team, or your community. Spectrum Business is here to help you build those connections stronger and faster. Imagine running your business with fast, reliable, fiber-powered internet so you can stay connected to customers, employees, and vendors without having to worry. We know flexibility matters. That's why select Spectrum Business packages come with a 3-year price guarantee, so you can focus on running your business. Plus, enjoy savings on internet, phone, TV, and mobile services when you bundle, all with a 30-day money-back guarantee and no long-term contracts. With Spectrum Business, you get more than just internet. You get support with 100% U.S.-based customer service. Real people who understand small business. Ready 24/7 to help you stay up and running. Join millions of business owners like you across America who trust Spectrum Business for reliability, speed, and support. Visit spectrum.com/business today to get started. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
What's up, little psychos? I'm Investigator Slater, host of the Psychopedia podcast. Psychopedia is a true crime podcast delivering raw, real, and absolutely gripping episodes every single week. I dig deep to uncover fascinating details of heinous true crime cases while exploring criminology and psychology theories. I take you into the absolute darkest corners of the human psyche, my favorite territory, and present cases like you've never heard them before. Follow and listen to Psychopedia everywhere you get your podcasts.
All of it, y'all, away we go. Welcome to the 21st Amendment season, episode number 4,542. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less. I don't know how you do it. You find people in the news doing messed up stuff.
It's tough.
Bring us 3 stories each and every week. It's up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Is there a theme to Who Sucks Less?
No, man, there's not really a theme. It's just people sucking. And one of these stories I want to say our very Mike Hawk brought us either earlier this week or late last week. And then we got 2 fresh ones to the pile, if you will.
Who Sucks Less is coming up at 4:30 on the program. And today on the question, we are inspired by a woman who went viral last night before making the news. Sound Transit suspended a portion of number one light rail service last night after a 70-year-old woman drove onto the tracks and became stuck on the elevated guideway near the Mount Baker station. Now, the transit agency sent an alert at about 6:15, stating that service between Soto Station and Othello was suspended because of the incident. According to Sound Transit, emergency responders worked to remove the vehicle. Now, the agency initially did not provide an estimated timeline for restoring the service. It announced that normal service had been resumed on both the number 1 line and the number 2 line at 10:30.
So 4 hours later.
That is correct. The fire department said crews responded to reports of a vehicle on the northbound light rail tracks. And when firefighters arrived, the driver had already exited the vehicle. Now, she is a 70-year-old woman and in stable condition. They did transport her to the Cherry Hill Swedish hospital just to give her an evaluation.
Sure.
She was not intoxicated, but they said she was rather confused, obviously.
Yeah.
She explained she was following her GPS, which led her to driving on the tracks. While being interviewed, the woman took an extended period of time to answer questions and was very confused during the entire process.
Okay.
I think we understand what's going on.
Sure.
During the disruption, trains continued to operate between Linwood City Center Station and Stadium Station, but that one line going that direction was closed down until 10:30, until they could get the vehicle off of the tracks, which required a forklift-type vehicle.
Yeah, to get it, you got to lift the thing off.
But it was also equipped to drive on those tracks.
Yeah.
Who knows where that thing was and how much time it took for that to reach its destination. In other words, did they put that on the back of like a flatbed?
Right, I don't know. I have no idea.
And like take it down there and get it off there.
Probably in the train yard.
I mean, look, the lady's 70 years old. She said, well, there's that. If you go through all the stories of people following their GPS to peril and stupid stuff, her age, look, maybe her age has something to do with this case, but there's very capable drivers out there, 20s, 30s, 40s, still do the same thing. There was a guy on Pacific Coast Highway, drove basically off of a cliff. His car plunged like 200 feet. Following it, it's a 2-lane highway. So if the GPS said turn left or right, like, use your eyes. There's a cliff on one side. There's a mountain on the other. There's an Amazon truck that got stuck in some massive lake because the Amazon driver, not knowing the area, used GPS. But at no point did he say, that's a lake in front of me. But GPS said go straight. So he went straight. It's like, buddy, it's still a lake.
Do you remember the Washington couple with their kids? They were down in Oregon, and it started snowing, and GPS took them on a Forest Service road.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they got stuck out there. I can't remember what the timeline was. I believe everything ended up being okay.
But they were there for a hot minute.
Yep, they were. And you know this. If you are going someplace where you know where you're going, and for some reason you have your GPS plugged in, just in case maybe there's traffic or whatever, you can see the GPS taking you away at times. You would never even think about going because it's just, that's a pain in the ass. There's no reason I need to circle the block here.
Look, again, GPS, it is what it is, but you still have to use your eyeballs, man. So it's one thing. Look, the Forest Service
But
road,
you're trusting the information it's giving you.
to a point. The people that got stuck on the Forest Service road, I get it, because when you look down at your GPS, it's showing you a road. So you start to follow it. Again, when there's a lake or a cliff or train tracks, be comfortable the GPS did not get this one right.
Yeah.
That's all. Listen, like, you're still driving your car. I am looking at a brick wall saying turn left here. I'm just not going to do it. Like, reroute to the GPS likes to say. I'm not going to drive into the wall.
Yep.
I'm not going to drive into a lake because GPS said drive into a lake. Just saying, at some point, you have to make a human decision. Like, look, there's a reason you can have, like, the car with the, assisted driving and all that, but they still want your hands on the wheel. Because at some point, human is going to do a better job than it is, right?
Yeah.
And just as a general thing, here, this is my general position on things. Things that don't have mortality or fear of their own death are not where I go for advice where my health might be on the line.
Yep.
Right? I mean, just, you can talk to anyone about anything, but they understand that nobody wants to die. So most of the time, their advice will not lead you that way. But any machine or anything like that, like, it does not know what mortality is. So if it says drive off of a cliff, it really doesn't mean anything to it.
Yeah. Now, we're going to talk about advice today. Whether it's good advice or bad advice, there's all kinds of advice that you get in life. You get advice from your parents when you're growing up. It is oftentimes that goes in one ear and out the other because you haven't gotten to that point in life to be able to fully grasp and understand what they're talking about until you cross that line, until you cross that road.
I mean, that's what it is with kids.
Yeah, and whether you're receiving that advice or giving it in a parental way, just know they're listening. But they might not get it all the way.
Sure.
Until they reach that point. But then you get great advice or bad advice from people that you work with, as far as your career, teachers, your professors, your guidance counselors,
everybody,
your friends, and you have to determine, is this advice, are you going to take it or not? Do you believe in what they say? Because oftentimes the stuff that I tell my kids is based on just experiences that I've been through in life. Some are just general things.
Sure.
Like at the time when I was driving with my daughter, who's in town, by the way, I'm supposed to hang out with her tonight. We were driving somewhere, and I was in the passenger seat of her car.
All right.
And the guy in front of us clearly could have made it through the light. Light turns yellow. He jams on the brakes. She slams on her brakes, does not hit the car in front of us. But out from beneath the seat rolls a Coca-Cola bottle.
Right.
All right. Filled with clear liquid. All right. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, I open it up. I smell it. I take a swig of it. It's vodka.
Did you keep drinking it?
I took a swig of it just to make sure because I smelled it and I was like, what is this, tequila or vodka? I took a drink. I was like, it's vodka. And I was like, dude. And she's like, it's my friend's. And I'm like,
sure.
I'm like, all right, look. So roll down the window and I pour the entire bottle out. And I'm just like, this is kind of pisses me off because I don't want to waste alcohol either. I just have to do this as a parent. And I'm like, look, honey, you can be a debaucherist. You can do things that I don't need to know about. But when you do these things, the one thing you can't do is be stupid.
That's it.
You can't be stupid. If you're going to do this, this needs to be in a Sprite bottle. It needs to be in a, I don't know, ginger ale bottle, water bottle, you name it. Coke is not clear. This is the stupidest thing. Please don't be stupid. You can be a debaucherist, but in life,
don't be stupid.
Don't be dumb about it. And like, those are the moments where, hopefully that advice is like, look, I know what you're up to. Just be smarter about it. Know what you're doing.
I think that's the best advice. Like, you can get mad, and you were mad, but you can't prevent people from being who they're going to be. That much I can accept. But if you got to be this way, at least be smart. What do we say, man? You're transporting, 75 pounds of heroin in the trunk of the car. My advice, follow all the traffic rules. Do not speed. Check to make sure your taillights work. Like, do not give anyone any. I'd rather you not be a drug mule. But if you have to be a drug mule, can you be smart about it?
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, I would say, too, advice from your friends. You got to think of who the friend is.
Who's the friend and what is their position? One thing I've learned in my life, and I truly believe this, do not take legal advice from someone who's not a lawyer.
People can
Don't
give you a
follow
suggestion,
it.
but you still need to get a lawyer.
You can listen to their suggestion, but get a freaking lawyer. Just don't buy that, man. Hey, man, I'll just write another Constitution. It doesn't. It does not say that. Don't believe that. Don't say that to a cop.
Yeah.
If you ask the hooker, she has to tell you. If you ask an undercover cop, it's like that is not true. It was never true.
But how long did you believe that? Because growing up, that's what everyone told. Dude, if a cop's undercover, all you got to do is ask him by law. He has to tell you. First of all, the law doesn't matter. People do what the hell they do. Two, no, they don't. You wouldn't be undercover if you're like, I'm busted.
Yeah.
I mean, think about every cop that's been undercover, some drug gang for 2 years. And finally, like, are you a cop? Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
And personal thing, too. Not everybody in their 40s, it's a white dude at an EDM festivals and undercover.
Oh, is that what you get all the time?
Now, it's kind of like a thing. People are like, undercover. It's like, no, I'm just not wearing a crazy outfit.
Right.
I'm not undercover.
Look at my pupils, my guy.
I'm covered.
It almost ruins your ability to have fun. When everyone assumes that you're that, like, God, I'm just here to trip balls.
Me and my buddy we're just wearing button up.
My kid, one of her best friends went through a breakup, and she was going over to console her or whatever the deal was, and she was going to take off from my place. She's like, man, I'm relieved this is over. I hated that guy.
Sure.
He was just such a douche. And,
Don't tell her.
And I said, baby, whatever you do not say anything bad about this ex. And she's like, but I hate him. And I'm like, listen, you might hate him, but keep this all to yourself. Just be there for your friend. Let her vent. Because I guarantee you, and I know this from that age, they will get back together. And then, more than likely, your friend is going to spill the beans on you. You know, I even never liked you at all. Blah, 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 blah.
Or should just hold it against you.
And
that's the other side of it, right?
And I said, listen, the one thing you don't say is during a breakup with anybody is any negative thing about either party, because there's a very, 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 very good chance that this is not a cut and dry breakup. Sometimes breakups take longer than just, it's the end. That's over. That's not how breakups work.
You got to, dude, just go back to the old Seinfeld reference, and I'm dating myself with Seinfeld. But, right, breaking up, it's like a soda machine, like a giant Coke vending machine. You don't just push it over in one try. You got to kind of rock it back and forth a few times, and finally it goes over.
Yep.
Yeah, I told you years ago, man, this guy I worked with, on again, off again relationship with this girl, very volatile. And I did not dislike her. But she was actually pretty cool. But they broke up, and everybody's there to console Rick. It was like the 5th time they broke up. But I'm thinking this time, it's for real. So I was like, look, man, the worst thing that's going to happen to you, Rick, dude, smile. You're going to date a chick that doesn't have big gums and little-ass teeth and all the rest of that, because that always disturbed me, which is blah, blah, blah. And I can just see the looks on the people around him. And I'm like, you guys have gotten back together, haven't you? He's like, yeah, man, we have. I'm like, my bad. I'm like, but look, she does have big gums and small teeth. I said nothing about her character, right? She was a cool chick. She was, right? I'd take a bullet for her, man. She's great. But I just, every time she talks, I'm just staring at just her huge gums and her tiny teeth. Well, the problem with that is, again, I did not insult her character, but as he said to me weeks later, he's kind of smiling, but he's like, that's all I see now, man. He's like, I never noticed before. And he's like, look, I love this girl. I'm like, I know you do, but it doesn't make her gums smaller or her teeth bigger. And I would not have brought that up if I had known that you got back together. But from that point on, I don't, to your point, I don't say anything about it. Mm-hmm. Me and so-and-so broke up. Oh, that's too bad. And I just stopped there, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, right. And it's good advice. I was going to say, like, at my age now, people are getting married or divorced. So, like, that's a little more final.
Yeah.
But, like, until you sign that paperwork, if you just say we're separated, like, I'm not going to be like, yeah, she sucks.
Separated means nothing. And even divorced. Because a lot of people are divorced, but they stay friends.
Yeah.
So I still, they're like, I hate that bitch. Like, okay, maybe I can jump in on this, but we finalized the divorce. And that's kind of all they say. I'm like, okay, they're still going to be in contact. I can't say that. And especially if they have kids, because they're going to have to interact.
Yeah.
Like, I will reserve all judgment and say nothing. Right. You know what I'm thinking, but I'm not going to say.
Now, some of the best advice I've gotten from my family. From my grandfather, it was, if you get $20 in a gift card for your birthday, whatever, he said, when you break it all down, even if it's just $2, put it away someplace. Don't spend every single thing you get. Just make it, and you won't even know it. He said, if you have a shoebox, he said, I'll open a bank account for you.
Yeah.
You can go I'll drop it off into savings, whatever the deal is. He said, you will be surprised how much money you will have in your savings eventually over time. And so even to this day, if I get a little bit of money, I will pay myself first. That was the way he phrased it.
Pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first. And then if you can, he's oftentimes you're not going to be able to do this. But the times that you can, if someone gives you $20 to go to the mall, try to spend $18. Try to keep a couple dollars in your pocket.
Yeah, for sure.
For whatever reason. So that was from my grandfather. As far as my uncle, and this was very backhanded advice, but I could read through it. When I got married for the first time, I want to say it was 1995, and he had something going on that was very important at his work or whatever. He had RSVP'd. He was going to be there. Last minute, he can't show up. And he calls me. And he's like, hey, man, I want you to know something. I love you. Something came up, man. I am not going to be able to make it to your wedding. I'm like, well, that sucks, man. I was looking forward to see you. He's like, it's okay. I will be there for the next one. And I understood at that time, what he was basically saying was, look, more than likely, statistics normally show that, you're going to probably be married more than one time in your lifetime.
Had he met your then wife?
No, he had nothing to do.
Okay, so it wasn't like,
he had. Oh, he'd met that one. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes that goes.
But he didn't even show up to the second one.
No, he didn't. He didn't show up to the second one either.
That's the only thing that really sucks. The story is kind of sad.
He told me that time?
I'll take you golfing when you get divorced.
No.
I'll see you at the next one.
I'll make it to your third, I promise. And he was right again. Okay, so like it wasn't like he was giving me advice,
Hey,
but he was just like saying, "Look, man, I've just got
I know you.
a little bit of honesty. You know, goes a long way.
I know
here."
you.
And I, honest to God, and as far as
Sorry to make, but sir, dude, I'll be at the third.
yeah, as far
I mean, just,
He didn't really say the third one, did he?
yeah, I'm not getting married a third time. And then my
let's call your uncle. Yeah, well,
yeah, hey man, no, I'm not. He's getting married now for the third time. He's 76 years old.
damn. Why is he getting married at 76?
No, he's 74. 74 years old.
Again,
doesn't matter.
It just.
Why is he getting married for a third time over 70?
The woman's 47 years old. Dude.
Oh,
He's trying to
must
lock
have a
her up
lock.
for the last
Yeah,
few
okay.
years.
She's
We got-
Czechoslovakian. I'll show you a picture of her.
I get it. Never mind.
All right.
That explains it.
I mean, I'm like, I get it.
Why are you getting married at 74?
He hasn't dated
She's
anybody in 10
47.
years.
Oh, okay.
She's 10 years younger than me.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And the best piece of advice my dad ever gave me, as far as just being practical in life, and I know this sounds so small and petty, but I don't care. Probably 30 years ago, he goes, I promise you, if you take a Metamucil every night before you go to bed, your life will be so much better. That was the advice. That was the advice. Just
Yeah, but you've held true to it.
get yourself some fiber in you every night, man. You'll wake up, man, and it'll go smooth and easy. And I still do it to this day. So our question, what is the best or worst advice you've given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
This is the Mighty 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
What's the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK. They say if you ask an AI chatbot how to beat cancer, it may point you toward a juice clinic. A new study tested 5 major chatbots: Gemini, ChatGPT, Meta AI, DeepSeek, and Grok. By straining them with loaded questions about cancer, vaccines, stem cells, nutrition, and performance drugs. Nearly half of their answers were labeled problematic. About 1 in 5 were highly problematic, meaning wrong and open to broad interpretation. Grok, I guess, performed the worst. While bots generally handle questions about cancer and vaccines better than some of the other topics, more than a quarter of cancer-related replies still carried, believe it or not, potential harm. More harm than good.
Yeah.
Researchers say the chatbots delivered most of the answers with confidence and certainty. And Bloomberg says, though none of them delivered full or accurate reference lists. The only 2 refusals to answer a question came from Meta when asked which alternative therapies are better than chemotherapy. The bots did warn that such treatments aren't backed by evidence, but then listed options like acupuncture, herbal remedies, cancer-fighting diets, even specific clinics, occasionally naming approaches such as the Gerson therapy approach that discourage chemotherapy in general. Lead study author Nick Tiller says that a research associate at an institute at UCLA Medical Center says chatbots, both sides, approach and their inability to give a very scientific-based black and white answer can make fringe ideas appear credible. And outside experts warn that AI is already misleading patients, from legitimizing unproven treatments to predicting life expectancy. In some cases, wrongly telling people that they have just months to live. One Seattle man, a guy in Seattle, died after AI tools convinced him that his doctors were wrong about his cancer. That happened here.
Side with the doctor. They don't know everything, but I would side with them.
Our question,
Yeah.
what is the best or worst advice that you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
And you could be a fan, and like I'm a fan of some alternative medicine stuff, but like I feel like when you have cancer, you should listen to the doctor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people tell I'm deeply religious. You got cancer. They will go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Now, you go like, maybe prayer doesn't work. Let me go see that doctor right quick. By the way, David here on YouTube, he has some advice for everyone. All right, we always talk about wild animals. Do you make yourself big? Do you make yourself small? Do you look them in the eye? Do you not look them in the eye? Right? Different animals, different things. He has one for all animals. It says, if you are being chased by a wild animal, drop to the ground for 6 seconds. Because of the 5-second rule, they can't eat you.
That's solid advice.
They can't do it. They try to get there in time, but if dude, 6 seconds, it's like, can't eat it. Now you're gross.
What is the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, old man Kenny. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So this is 1985, and I'm stuck in the cocaine addiction crud. I mean, bad, right? By 89, I'm wanting out, and I'm looking for any way to get out. So I call a buddy of mine. He owned a used car lot right in across from Paradise Bowling Alley in Tacoma. Jim's Parkland Auto Sales. And he got me, I told him, man, I got to get some work here. I need some help. And so he hired me on washing cars, small mechanics. They used to buy from the big dealerships 10, 12 cars at the time, and we'd have to pick them up and get them back to the shop. But anyways, there was a sweetheart old man dude, Bob Steve. He's the old gypsy guy. And he knew my struggles and seen what I was going through, and he set me down one day. And this changed my life, man. He said, Kenny, he said, you hang around bad people, only bad things are going to happen. People are going to think bad of you, and you're going to do bad in life. He said, but if you hang around good people, people are going to think good of you. You're going to do good in life, and good things are going to happen in your life. And that just flipped me completely around. I got clean. Changed my life. I wish somebody would have told me that earlier.
But hey, man, here's the truth of it. Your parents run that by you. They phrase it different, so you don't really pay attention. And when you're a teenager, your friends are your friends, right? So your parents would say, but the older you get, the more you know that rings true. I try to explain to my kids in certain situations, but they're like, I got in trouble, but I didn't do anything. And I said, dude, it's called guilt by association. You were friends with these guys, and you were present when this thing went down. It doesn't matter if you did it. You still get lumped in, right? I was like, trust me, perception is stronger than the truth. The truth almost means nothing.
Ask Ray Lewis.
Perception is everything, right? Exactly. So you just go like, look, if you hang around guys that do these types of things, you're going to end up getting in trouble with them, whether you did anything or not, right? So instead of getting frustrated, and I know some of these guys are your friends, but in certain situations, maybe distance yourself from them because you know what they're going to do, man. And I say this because I've been through it. Even your uncle, my brother, went through it. Your grandfather sure as hell went through it. I'm like, it's the case for everyone.
And there's friends of friends, right? Like in high school, right? Like, like my buddy Bernie. Like, we spent a lot of time together. But he had a couple buddies that were just, like, from his neighborhood. That were just same thing. It was just like they were always getting in trouble and this and that. Yeah. And somebody was like I think it was my brother. I was like, you're right. And it was hard to do because I wanted to hang out with Bernie and go to that party. But if he had those two idiots with him, I would just say, I can't go. Probably blame my parents. But like same token, like, and they did get in a lot of trouble. I think one of those guys is in jail now. Right? Like, it wasn't hard to see. And like, you're right, though. But it is hard at that age to be like.
At that age, you don't want to hear it, man. These are your guy, and they're the only people that you actually have fun with, right? Everyone else is an authority thing. I got my parents coming down. I got school. When I hang out with these guys, I'm free, right?
Yeah.
So, to tell your kid, like, hey, the people you like hanging out with most, they're bad news. You don't hear it. And my thing is, I'm like, especially with my son, because he's a very good kid, and I go, not your problem. One of your issues is, you don't like being in trouble. And so you don't do a lot of things to get yourself in trouble. So maybe don't associate with them. But your dad, meanwhile, did not care if he got in trouble. So I could run with certain people. It didn't matter because it didn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me that much now. But if it bothers you, put distance between it, man. That's what you got to do. And also, I was up to no good most of the time. And that's the difference. I'm like, look, I was up to no good. All right. I wasn't the worst. I was somewhere in the middle. But I don't mind getting in trouble because that's not death. Doesn't mean anything to me. It means something to you. So put some distance between yourself and those one or two people, I know them by name, that are going to get your ass in trouble because you know they're going to do something. Every single time. That's why it's always these same two names that are brought up when you get in trouble.
Oh, my daughter used to freak out about just how nasty social media was in high school.
Sure.
And especially the girls, they absolutely
they're the worst.
They go after each other, and there's no filter. It's completely cruel, whatever the deal is. Throwing them under the bus if they said they like somebody. Next thing you know who she likes. She likes such and such. Now it's out there in the world.
I saw it on Be Real,
which is devastating as a teenager.
And and my advice was, look, you are about ready to graduate high school. You are leaving this world that you know. You will have friends for the rest of your life from high school. And you will have people that you know from high school that you'll never talk to again.
Sure.
But you're about ready to just wipe the slate clean and start over. So whatever you want to do, anytime you move, you have the opportunity to reinvent yourself, to pick different friends, to have different interests if you so choose. You're always going to be the same person, but you don't have to worry about that crap anymore.
No.
And it's just water under the bridge at that point. So I know it's a lot for you right now, but I'm telling you, in 2 months, all of this is going to be over, and you'll never even think about it again. You might think about it as far as like, man, I had some bad times in high school, but it's not going to be relevant to you because it doesn't matter. Ultimately at that point.
But I always hated
you
hearing
moved on,
that
hopefully.
when I was younger. And I'm not disagreeing. I hated hearing that when I'm younger because time moves much slower when you're younger.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, hey, I know it doesn't matter now. Once they started with that, you started tuning out. That said, I can go back and think about every single person that said that. And they were 100% correct. It's just at the time you're hearing it, like, if it doesn't help me now, like you said, it's just 2 months.
Yeah.
In our world, when you're an adult, 2 months is a blink of an eye. When you're a kid, 2 months might as well be the next 25 years, right? So even if I tell my kid, look, hey, man, in 8 weeks, don't worry about it. I might as well tell them for the rest of your life, this is a problem.
I tell him,
I would also say, too, it's like, this will sound harsh, but like, some of the people when you're in high school that you think are just the best and have it all together, they ain't going to end well for them.
No.
And some of you that seem like you're kind of struggling, like, you're going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But it's
But
like
we can see it now.
We can see it now.
But yeah, when you're a kid, man, and it's amazing because my parents, they'd single out not just only my friends, but people that I knew. And I'm like, dude, he's the coolest freaking guy. And my dad would always just laugh openly, like, okay, man. And I'm like, bro, you don't get it. He's got the cool cars, he's got the cool jacket. My dad's like, okay. And to your point, Ted, within 3 years of graduating high school, hey, did you hear about your friend? No. Okay, well, he's in prison for whatever.
And even
But he's cool.
And even with if like with my kid, has a first big relationship, right?
Yeah.
Go through that breakup. And I was like, look, I can't give you any advice because
It's probably like, Dad, yes, you can.
You can't. Well, yes, you're right. I'm kidding.
That first one, though, it's hard to tell anybody. It just sucks.
That's what I said. It's never going to be this bad.
That is true.
You went through the worst one. I don't care if you get divorced.
No.
I don't care if the 17-year-old you, this is going to suck more. But it will enable you to be able to deal with it better in life.
But you're right, the
later
first
on,
one is the worst.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you're 16 years old or you're 66 years old.
Yeah.
The first one is going to suck.
It sucked
and
bad.
there's nothing you can say to make it better. There's nothing you can do. I can't tell you how long you're going to feel this way. Could be a year. Could be less. But it's not going to be. It's going to suck.
And that's it.
And that's all I can tell you. Even if you have a new boyfriend, you're still going to be bummed out about this thing.
Sure.
Or whatever the deal is. Like, it's not going to go away. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't control it. So it's basically your emotions are out of your control. You can think your way through stuff, but your emotions, you can't control.
I had a buddy that kind of had a famous breakup. We were adults, right? And I remember we were driving in his car, and it got to the point where I was just like, dude, I'm not talking to you about this. Like, everybody's stance on it. And
Sure.
his brother happened to call. And I remember him saying, but I still love her. And his brother just goes, you were in love with her. You dated her for this long. Like, there's going to be a part of you that always has a special spot for her. But he's like, you guys are terrible together. Like it's fine. Right? Kind of like what Miles is saying. Like, nothing's going to be as bad as that first one. But, like, yeah, like, it's hard to tell anybody. I don't care what age. They could be 40 and never dated somebody. That first breakup's going to be like, oh, this is tough.
It's horrible, man. It just sucked.
Right.
It really does. I don't know why I'm laughing about it now.
We laugh because we've all been through it.
Well, the first one, I was like, let's not get a divorce, man, because we had kids. Let's try to work our way through this. And,
Yeah.
I was broken up about that one. But the second one, I was like, yeah, I think I'm moving out Saturday.
Yeah, I mean,
like, seriously, man, I'm kind of looking around. I'm going to pack up my crap and get out of here.
Once you've been, the first girl that broke up, I was crushed, man. Absolutely devastated. Pissed. And you could tell me anything you wanted. I'm not hearing it because you just don't get it. But you're right. By the time you start dating someone else and you think it might be on the rocks, like, you just want to call this quits or.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not going through all that again.
I think I might be out.
Yeah, and I'm going to use a stupid sports analogy, but it's like the first time you see a curveball, right? You don't know what the hell that thing is. You're diving out of the box. But you get used to it. So I think with the breakups, you can see that curveball coming. So like the next couple of relationships you have, you can be like, oh, this one's going to end. I know it's going to end. I can see it. Right? I can see that
coming in.
Right. Like, I don't know if I'm going to hit it. I'm just not going to dive out of the box like an idiot and have my heart broken.
What's the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Mark. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Right.
So I was going to Boston with a friend of mine, and he started complaining to me about his wife didn't do the laundry, she didn't do the dishes, and she won't make love to him. So
Hello.
I looked at him and I said, F you. And he looked at me all surprised, and he goes, what? I said, when you were growing up, you did all that stuff for your parents. You cleaned the house, laundry, dishes, everything. And I said, you don't like the sink full of dishes? Do the dishes. You don't like all the laundry? Do the laundry. You don't like a dirty house? Clean the house. Maybe after you get all that done, your wife will want to make love to you. And 2 weeks later, I saw him again, and he's like, thank you so much. Everything was back on track.
Well, you need some help. You can't do everything on your own.
Like, you can do it on your own, but anything that, if you claim something is important to you and it is 100% in your control, do it.
Okay.
That's all.
Do you guys want some of the best pieces of advice or worse that people have received on these comments?
Why don't you go back and forth, mix and match?
Okay.
Why don't you just give the advice? We'll see if this was good or bad.
Okay. You don't have to show up to every argument you're invited to.
Very
Good
solid advice.
You wouldn't care what people think of you if you knew how seldom they do.
Oh, damn.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is real. I feel like that's something you say to the
It
kids.
took me a long time to learn, like, a lot of, like, quick interactions, whatever. It's like, they don't care.
At all.
You're still thinking about it. That person has, they not that they moved on. They don't care.
They didn't care to move on from it.
Right.
Once you learn something, no one can take it away from you.
True.
Always check for milk before you pour your cereal.
Yes. That came from a parent. I guarantee it.
I would say always check the milk.
Here's some
You do the sniff test every time.
Every time.
I do too.
Here's some work advice.
And by the way, just on a side note, if you think the milk smells bad, then it smells
bad.
You always get the, hey, can you come here? Does this smell bad to you? I'm like, does it smell bad to you?
I'm going to stick on more good advice, just so you know. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Let's see.
If you're the smartest person in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's pretty good.
You're not learning anything. Being an electrician working in industries, this is very important. Trust no one.
Oh, yeah.
So because you're going to get electrocuted.
And use your pen light.
Every time they've been to my house, they will always point out, breaking out the pen light, and then they'll have a war story about the one time they didn't.
They also don't agree with each other.
I know they don't.
Doesn't matter what the trade is, and doesn't matter if they're looking at the same exact trade that somebody else did. Nobody agrees who's the last guy that did this crack.
It's not that they don't agree. It's almost like your doctor feels obligated to tell you in 5 minutes you'd have been dead.
Yeah.
Electricians will tell you. So we had a guy saying, I don't know who did this last time, blah, 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 blah. My wife pointed out it was you.
Yep.
Oh.
And he got the biggest grit. Well, that's the thing, because he had been servicing our house the last couple of times, so it had been like 2 years. So he says the standard line. I'm always like, it was you.
I like this one.
Specifically, not your company, you.
From the guy's late father-in-law. If you can afford to pay a professional to do something, definitely do that. That way, if something goes wrong, your wife can blame them instead of you.
Yeah. Very much so.
No, it's his fault, honey.
What's the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
You can't predict the future, but you can prepare for it. Arizona State University is building degrees for what's ahead, taught by world-class faculty who are shaping our future. Explore over 350 programs offered online at asuonline.asu.edu.
Sierra has all the best active and outdoor brands you need, from athletic stuff, like a full-court pickup game, swish, to athletic-ish stuff, like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. And for morning hikes up the mountain trail, good pace. To nighttime ghost stories from the camping chair. What a twist. Whatever level of active, Sierra loves it all. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athletic-ish, Sierra's got it.
I'm Sally Helm with the podcast History This Week. In each episode, we serve as your eyes and ears into history's biggest events. Major elections, world wars, scientific breakthroughs. But we also bring you into the smaller, behind-the-scenes stories. The unsung heroes, secret meetings, even personal grudges that changed the course of history. Listen to and follow History This Week, an Odyssey podcast in partnership with the History Channel. Available now for free on the Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, what's the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK. We go to the train tracks. A signaler decided to stop applying signal protection for a farm crossing ahead of a train crash after the advice of a more experienced colleague, according to an investigation. Now, the findings come following an investigation into a train and agricultural trailer and the crash that happened on a farm crossing on May 22nd last year. Basically, if you are on a train going down this road, you call the owner of that farm.
Oh, to let them know
you're coming, or vice versa. Or the person on the tractor calls the director, the signaler, so to speak, and says, hey, am I clear to cross this piece of farmland to go on the other side of the tracks at this point? All right. So a number of trains passed through the section without incident that morning. The Rail Accident Investigation Branch report reflected that before the signaler at the station received a call from the Norden Farm Crossing, a farmer called to cross with a tractor and trailer at 10:03 a.m. I guess there were no trains either accepted or in the section at this time. So the signaler immediately granted permission to cross. Another 3 crossings were received between 10:09 and 10:21. Now, during a 5th granted crossing request at 10:26, the signaler asked how much longer the farm would be using the crossing that day and was told that intermittent requests would be made for the next couple of hours. Now, after this call, the signaler decided to stop applying signal protection for any further requests that morning, saying they could basically eyeball it.
Okay.
Based on something that his superior told him. Just minutes later, around 10:35, a train entered the section between Wooferton and Leominster, and the signal box received another crossing request 2 minutes later. That permission was granted immediately, and that tractor was immediately smashed by a train. Jesus. According to the reports. The signaler said, don't worry about it after this time. They're just going to be few and far between. There were actually 3 more crossings in that time.
Just because someone's your superior does not mean their advice is good.
What's the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? More pieces of good advice that people have received. Let's see. Wasn't advice per se, but whenever I was going through a tough situation, my parents would always say it's temporary. Whatever hardship I'm going through is temporary. It's helped me so much to just put things in perspective. Trying to help my boyfriend right now by telling him that his job is abnormally hard right now, but that's temporary. And in a couple weeks, it'll just get back to normal.
It's true. But again, that just comes with age. You go through the bad, but the bad does not stick around forever. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. When things are bad, you feel like it's going to last forever.
Yep.
Correct.
Right? The good times, you're convinced are not going to last long. The bad times, to me, it's like an amusement park. You stand in line for an hour. Those are your bad times. And then the ride, the cool part, is 90 seconds.
Yep.
I think sometimes, too, you got to kind of recognize the good times when you're in them. And it might not even seem like the peak of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, let's say, it's just like kind of in the middle as you're doing it. Let's say you're at a big concert or whatever. But you're kind of always waiting for that final crescendo or whatever. But sometimes you just look at a buddy and be like, this is awesome.
This is cool.
Right?
I'm
Even just the
here.
lead up to it. Or to me, I always think of October. Right? You think about playoffs, Super Bowl. But I looked at my buddy a couple years ago. I go, this is it. He goes, what? I go, October. Everybody still has hope. There's tons of games on. Right? The weather's not crappy yet.
Well, it goes back to something that I've learned over the last, half a decade at this point, and it's just kind of just to be thankful for what it is that you have. Kind of talking about being in the moment, or rather enjoying the good time while you're in it. Being in that present moment and just being happy that you're there, as opposed to being in a bad moment and when's the next good moment going to come around? There's a good moment here and then the next bad moment's going to show up. Anything that you've got right now, consider yourself lucky to have it. Each and everything that you have. I don't care top to bottom. I don't care if it's the family that you got, the job that you got, the possessions that you have, big or small. Be happy of everything that it is that you have, because it can go away at some point, and it will leave you at some
Especially
point.
your health.
No kidding.
People talk about health all the time. You don't realize how good you have it when you are able to get around, you're healthy, you don't have those limitations.
If you just get a sore throat, you cannot wait for the day. And everyone tells themselves, I will never, not appreciate not having a sore throat again. Once the sore throat goes away, you forget that you have a sore throat, you're back to normal.
Anytime you break something, you're like, you really appreciate the fact that, when you're just healthy and things are normal.
Sure.
My stepfather used to tell me a couple things, were just very basic things. He said, first of all, kid, life is not easy. Life is hard. And life is not fair.
No.
So
it doesn't owe you.
That was one that I always, I took that to heart because it seemed like a lot of the time that things, just based on what I needed to do, they were not fair. The other one was, he said, look, you will learn more in life from your lowest points than your highest points. You will appreciate your high points, and you will enjoy them, and you need them. But you will learn more and grow more as a person when you're at the bottom of the roller coaster and not at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt, man.
And I think that's pretty good advice. Here's more. Guys, when my dad passed away, someone told me, I'm sure you hear a lot of people saying how sorry they are for you and stuff like that. So I'm not going to tell you that. I'll tell you this. Your dad may have passed from the world, but he's still alive in your memories, alive in the people's lives that he influenced, talked to, and met, which means he's alive in you. So just remember that.
Sounds like Coco the movie.
Yeah.
I will say, somewhere over the time, I just stopped telling people, they're in a better place. Because people, somebody passes away, people are really upset.
Yeah.
They got to deal with that, right? And I don't, I do want to believe it, but it seemed like at a certain time to me it just became like a throwaway line to tell me.
It's a throwaway line because you don't know that.
Right, right. It's just I'm sorry for your loss, right?
I can give you that.
Right, if you need something, let me know. But
sure.
Yeah.
Couple more pieces of good advice that people have received. Never give out money you expect to get in back or return. Buy a plunger before you need a plunger.
Yes.
I learned that from Ted. I'm not even kidding, man. It's I will never not have a plunger. Ted blew up my toilet. It's hey, man, you got a plunger. And it's such a horrible moment. You say, I don't have a plunger. But wire coat hanger, and Ted hooked it up. Now,
I got it done.
Now, look, now I have plungers all over the house. If you need a plunger, we don't have wire hangers anymore. So it's very important. Yep. My wife would freak out if you used one of her good wooden ones. I can make it work.
I don't think, that'd be tough. But I'm the same way. Anytime you move into a new place or something,
just buy a plunger.
Just get the plunger.
I remember
the plunger with the toilet bowl cleaner. You're gonna need them both.
Yes.
Remember when you are fighting with your partner, it is not you versus them. It's you both versus the problem. Doesn't matter if one of you is right. Just work together to try to fix the problem.
Yeah, we just kind of don't care anymore. It's not that we don't care. Right. We just put it this way: if there's something significant, you will debate it. But like any couple, you start bickering and sniping and all this. And we used to go at it pretty hard. But about 10 years ago, finally, I was like, wait, we're both unhappy. We're both pissed off, right? And we're arguing about something stupid. I'm like, are we going to get divorced over this? If the answer is no, let's just drop it and take 5.
My last boss said, don't half-ass 10 things. Whole-ass 5. It's the best piece of career advice you'll ever get. And finally, I took this advice from the back of a pack of matches. Keep dry. And stay away from children. I've spent every day trying to follow this. Our question, what is the best, worst, or worst advice that you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Solid piece of advice I have for anyone that has a job. All right, every once in a while, you'll be called upon to do something a little bit outside of your job description, so to speak. Do a really bad job at that, and they will not ask you to do it again. Look, I'm not even kidding. It's listen, they'll come down with something. Hey, man, we need you to do so-and-so. I'm like, all right. And then when they get this thing, they're like, this is kind of crappy. I'm like, I know. But the problem is still there, but they never ask me to do it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tanner. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola.
Okay, so I was probably about, I dated this girl for 10 years from 19 to 29, and we ended up separating. And we got back together. I remember my dad came and he talked to me and he said, are you sure you really want to get back together? And I was like, yeah, of course. I thought it was a great relationship. And he just went, okay. And he didn't say anything to me at that time, just let it play out. Well, obviously it didn't work out. It ended just the way we thought it would. And my dad later came up to me and goes, have you ever reached in the fridge and grabbed milk and then poured a glass of milk and tasted it and it's sour? And did you put the milk back in the fridge anticipating for it to get better?
You know what? That is a fine point, man.
Yeah. And I was young at the time when he told me that, and and still to this day, I think that's probably one of the greatest things. It's pretty. But again, some people they get divorced and they get remarried, and sometimes it does work out.
Emotional stuff is tough, but I think as an analogy, I get the feeling I'll probably drop that on probably both of my kids at some point in the future. Son, I learned this from Tanner's dad. Never met the man, but it's a solid piece of advice. The milk don't get better because you put it back in the fridge, brother.
And those second marriages very rarely work out after a couple gets back together and remarries.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, the times you hear about it, very rarely. I'm sure there are instances, but percentage-wise,
they don't.
He's right.
Yeah, I got an aunt. She married the same guy. I think she was married a total of 3 times, but on 2 occasions, it was the same guy. And I liked him. My family liked him. Just for whatever reason, they didn't work. But I do remember when she was announcing that she's going to get married. 'Cause my father does not pull punches. He won't say much, but he ain't going to lie to me if he speaks to you. And he's just like, Fran, do you think it's a good idea? But Robert, I thought you liked him. He said, I do like him, but we are not married. We get along fantastic. We are not married. You were married. You had your shot. You got divorced. You married someone else, and now you're going back to him because you're thinking about all of the good things, forgetting about why you got divorced. You can look back on any relationship and be like, oh, man, we had some good times. Of course you did. Why are you not together? That's the part you need to remember.
What's the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, I mean, that's mostly what you'll remember.
Right, because everyone's, oh, man, we had a great time. They were great in bed, all this stuff. Like, right, why did you break up? Oh, God, that's right. She was a horrible bitch. She was a racist. I don't know, serial killer.
And even if you don't like that person, you can still think about the good times. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's why we call it a spank bang,
and you know what else, man? Depending on how you operate, you can still be cordial. You can still be friends.
Sure. Yeah.
You just don't have to live together and share all the crap.
That's what makes you palatable now. We don't have to live together.
What is the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
One day you'll run into a guy in a bar that's like, we're Eskimo brothers. I'm like, no kidding.
Good for you. Did you move in with her? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, where was I in the line?
And that can't, let me buy you a drink. Hello, Marilyn. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
So the advice I gave to my children when they started making friends and stuff and then later on in relationships is all relationships should make both of you better. If one side is better than the other, it isn't going to be very successful.
And do you say this from experience?
I do. I've been married, just had my 38th wedding anniversary.
38 years.
That's a big deal.
Good God, man. How old are your kids now?
will be 29 and 26.
Come on, Mom. You got to be quicker to answer. Like, that's the one thing that all women, you say, how old's your kid? They can tell you 18 years, 4 months, 3 days, 2 hours.
Well, their birthdays are coming up in the next couple weeks, so.
Okay. Very important. So 38 years. How many times, seriously, in 38 years, did you guys honestly think you might get divorced?
Twice.
Twice? All right.
Well, I think that's fairly normal.
It's got to be.
That's a low number in my world.
Yeah, I mean, I would think easily at least twice. That's not a bad run, man. 38. Yep. So how do you think that affects your kids, though? Just because that's one thing I think about. I was lucky enough to grow up in a household where both parents stayed married, right? And they're still freaking together. I don't know how. My wife and I, so we've been through some stuff, but I tried to do the right things. I'm like, this is an example that my kids see, right? And
so my daughter has said that men, boys, and pets are all a lot of work, and right now they're not worth it.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
I can't say she's wrong. She's an engineer. She has a great life that she's happy. My son had a woman that he was planning on marrying, found out she cheated on him. He kicked her to the curb and said, I will never trust you again. There's no way we could ever have a successful relationship.
Yeah, because you're constantly thinking about what someone's up to when they're leaving for the night with their friends or whatever the deal is. You just, in the back of your mind, you're thinking to yourself, is this person still lying to me? Or are they really telling you the truth?
Well, of course. I mean, look, but that's true of anything. There was a coworker that used to work here. I just heard that apparently she had extremely bad bowel movements. Stupid, right? But that's when Robin was here, and Robin she just made this face like, look, I've never smelled or heard anything like this in my life. Okay. Every time I saw this coworker up until they stopped working here, like, they were very nice. We could talk about anything, but the only thing on my mind was, you take bad poops, and it's stupid, but, like, that's what happens. Once you know something about someone, like, that's always on your mind, right? Even if it could be someone we know at the bar. And you say, I only know this person through the bar, and we have a good time, and we'll buy each other drinks and all that. But and you fill in the blank, and every time you see this person, that's the only thing on my mind.
If you go to a place and you're there at the bar a lot, do yourself a favor. Every bartender in there, whether you like them a lot or you don't like them as much, tip them very well, and you will be taken care of. That would be the best advice I can give anybody who's got a local watering hole.
Dude, man,
I mean, that's a tip more than you should. And you won't even have to say a word when you walk in. Your drink will more than likely be in front of you in about 30 seconds if the place isn't packed.
I don't know the last time I've had to openly say what I want to drink at the local watering hole. And Ted, you'll like this move. The bartender that was working when you went to watch Arsenal.
All right.
He was there the other day. My wife and I walk in, and as we say, there is what we call the varsity section of the bar, if you're sitting at the actual bar top. And it's just kind of the corner, right? And I can't explain it like...
It's every bar. I've come to realize. Every bar, the corner is the spot.
Okay, so...
I have been to a place that is kind of high-end, and we would go there traditionally for birthdays, and we didn't get the corner one night, and I was like, all right, no big deal. But the other guy I was with, he was like, no. We're getting the goddamn corner.
Yeah, we came in, and but there were just the way the guys were seated. The corner was kind of occupied, all right? But this guy was not a regular. And the bartender was a very cool dude. Says, sir, I'm going to need you to move 2 seats down. And the guy was kind of salty. He's like, for what? I said, because I want these two to sit there. And I looked at my wife, and I'm like, we have arrived.
Yeah.
We have also, and it's because we tip him well.
Also, if you are ever in a situation with someone and they treat people who are trying to help you rudely and not with any decency,
get out.
Get out of that relationship. If you ever have someone talk back to a waiter, talk back to a waitress, someone working and checking you out at the grocery store, someone in retail who's trying to help you.
Yeah.
If that person that you're with is rude and obnoxious and not nice, get away. Get out of that, because that means in general they're going to treat you bad too.
Sure.
What is the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the men's room.
How are we doing, fellas?
Hola.
So, oh my God, it's been over 25 years now. I was having anger management issues at work, and it was going. And I had a senior enlisted advisor guy recommend that I go to a retreat. I'm like, I'm not into that kumbaya stuff. And I ended up going to this retreat and personal growth retreat thing. And we read the Serenity Prayer over and over a little bit. And from then on, it's helped keep things in perspective about what's important, what's not important, and what to let go.
Hey, man, whatever works. And I think you said key word to me, it's just perspective. Right? Yep. When you get emotional, a lot of times perspective goes out the window. We understand that. But when you can gain perspective on a situation, you'll find you tend to stay very calm.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes a long way. What finally convinced you to actually go to Kumbaya Land if you were someone who was not interested in Kumbaya Land?
Well, it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday retreat. He told me he'd give me Monday off. I said, all right, then.
That's inspiration
I
right
thought
there.
it was going to be like, go to retreat or you lose your job.
Nope, I'll give you Monday off. Like, done.
What's the best or worst advice you've either given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
The mighty 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
People sharing some of the worst advice they were ever given. So worst advice. When trying to figure out how to tell my boyfriend something difficult, my girlfriend said, why are you telling him? Just lie. He doesn't need to know. Another one. Amazon will never take off. Don't waste money on their stock. That was in the 90s. Thanks, Dad. And more. Do what you love and the money will come. That did not happen with me.
No, not necessarily.
No.
That's why people have hobbies. If you can get paid for your hobby, you'd probably parlay that into a job. The reason it's your hobby, because you ain't making money doing it.
At this point in your life, don't worry about student loan debt. You'll get a job and be able to pay it all back. Here's more of the worst advice that people were given. Get off the computer. Go outside. You're never going to be able to support yourself and have a job playing with a computer all day. That from my mom. Told my ninth grade math teacher that I wanted to be a therapist. She told me I should consider being a hairdresser or working at a laundromat. I'm now a licensed therapist with my own practice.
Laundromat?
A laundromat.
I don't know.
That's got to be like back in the day. Like that just seems...
That's not like this lucrative career path that everyone fights for.
Right. Work in a salon Or a laundromat.
Yeah. You should always be at least 5 minutes late to every meeting you get invited to so that people think you're really busy, rather than thinking you have nothing to do. As you can imagine, this coworker who gave me that advice eventually told her they needed to find work somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
In high school, I went to the school counselor to ask how to get into college. She told me to forget about college and just marry as well as I could.
Jesus.
So I graduated college, started my own business, and married an engineer at the age of 50. My guidance counselor did the same thing.
What's that? What did they say?
He highly discouraged me from going to college.
Why?
Because he didn't think I was smart enough to go.
Okay.
But the bottom line was, I just was not interested in the high school curriculum. I did the high school curriculum, but those subjects were not subjects that I was actually interested in.
You didn't volunteer for them. They are presented to you.
When I got into college and I was able to say, hey, this is what I would like to do, I was able to pick the curriculum that suited
your interest.
That degree.
And isn't it crazy? I bet you did well.
I did not like biology a lot. I loved geology.
Sure.
Both were in the same tier curriculum.
Yeah.
Whatever group they put in. All I needed to do was get like 4 credits or 6 credits in that one tier. So I would pick the things that I enjoyed in the classes that I liked. I graduated high school with a 2.7. I graduated college with a 3.6.
Yeah.
And
when
at the time,
people are interested in things, they put in more effort.
But I still am. I had an 8th grade English teacher. And at one point in time, I seriously leaned over to ask one of the kids in class a question about something I had a question on.
All right.
She was writing on the board or something.
Sure.
I didn't want to interrupt her. You know what I mean? She wasn't talking. So
All
I just
right.
leaned over and asked the question. She turned around. She goes, because it made the person laugh, whatever I said.
Yeah.
And so she's like, Mr. Montgomery, do you think you're just going to spend your whole life talking and telling jokes? And I was like,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I want to do.
That's the point, right? That was the goal, man. So, yeah.
What else? When I was in Boy Scouts, my scout leader said to always ride your bike against traffic so they can see you coming. That's a bad idea, folks.
That's what I grew up with. They would try to ride against traffic. And so you would do it as a kid. And my father was driving home from work one day. We went by each other, whatever. When I got home, he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I saw you riding your bike. Again, I'm like, okay. He goes, why are you riding against traffic? I'm like, and honest to God, like every adult, every teacher, everyone at that time said to do that for that reason, they could see you. He's like, we can see you whether you're coming toward us or not. He's like, ride with traffic. You're going to die, dumbass. And after that, I rode with traffic.
When you're married and find other women attractive, just go get a prostitute. She'll do whatever you ask her to do, and you just pay her. That's another wise thing said by my grandfather.
Wow.
Our question, what is the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Just get a prostitute.
I mean,
wow.
Again,
I thought it would just say it means you're alive. You know, not
just because somebody's older and whatever, like that doesn't mean their advice is good.
No, that proves it right there. Hello, Kurt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, guys. So, quick story of it. $7,000 investment, and now I'm making $200,000 a year.
What was your investment?
Starting my own business.
Okay.
All right. What kind of business are you in?
Pest control.
All right.
All right.
That's a great bit. I'll tell you why. First of all, we don't have a lot of termites here.
Right.
Now, termite treatment does get you a lot of money, but it's also a lot of work. All right. That's number one.
There's a lot of fugazi about termites in Seattle area, so we can get into that at a later date. But anyway. Yeah,
and also your chemicals. Once you get your license and you're able to go and buy those chemicals, the dilution rate on those chemicals is honestly a cup, sometimes to 5 gallons of water.
Sure.
So those are not as expensive, but they are effective. And you basically just go out, you have everything in the back of your truck, and you take care of business.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, did you start your own business by taking someone's advice or by ignoring someone's advice?
By taking. So, both. So I've been in the industry for almost 30 years, 28 years as of April, excuse me. And I was always told, hey, you've got this down. You should go do it. And it's like, I don't know if I got the money to do it. But then I was forced into it because I got fired from a company.
All right.
And I was like, all right, it's either rock bottom or the sky's the limit. And now I make
3 times as much money, and I spend half as much time in the field, and I'm a happy camper.
I bet.
How did you promote your company? Anyone can start a company, but now how do you get the word out to actually get customers?
Well, so I did like the Angie's List thing for a little bit, but basically I just got traction with clients referring me to other neighbors and family members and coworkers.
That is the best advertisement ever, brother.
Really
is. Yep. So it was grassroots. I had a great amount of support from my family and friends, and shout out to my buddy Dale, who talked me into it finally, because he was going through issues with his employees, and he said, I need a subcontractor, but to hire you as a subcontractor, you have to have your own company established. And I'm like, okay, so I jumped through the hoops, and next thing you know, yeah.
What's your company's name?
Renaissance Pest Control.
And what's your service area?
I do all of King County. I've had to cut out certain parts of King County lately because of how popular I am.
Why don't you hire another employee and get another truck?
I've already got another truck. I mean, I could do that, Miles, but then that's the next echelon of, like, going through more hoops to, provide benefits and
payroll,
insurance, and so it's going to increase my accounting costs at the end of the year. So I don't know.
Not only the gas, everything else, man. Insurance.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you hire an employee, then that whole world opens up for you.
What is the best or worst advice you've either given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Eric. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
So I've been working as an AV contractor for the last 3 years professionally. And before that, I worked in various churches and did sort of like odd jobs in the same field. And I've seen a variety of skill levels in production management and the people working. But probably single-handedly, the worst thing I've ever seen, or the advice that I was given for a show setup was pertaining to one of the lighting towers. And for those who don't know, these things probably weigh anywhere between around 200 pounds and about 10 to 16 feet tall, depending on what kind of truss you use. And we have these big, heavy steel plates at the bottom and throw a bunch of sandbags on them to keep them stable during a show. And I was told by my production manager that the weight of the base plate didn't matter. Pretty much the issue that we had was we had a really tall, heavy lighting tower, and we had a base plate that was too small, and we couldn't get the thing to balance. So we were all scratching our heads wondering who put him in charge and why he's getting paid more than us. It doesn't understand the simple concept of if you have a tall, unstable object, you need a really big, heavy base plate at the bottom. So I guess we should have used cardboard ones. If the weight doesn't matter, why are we hauling these big, heavy steel plates around?
Well, at least you didn't learn from a bad accident. At least someone didn't get hurt.
Yeah, no one got hurt, but it was definitely the potential was there to set it up and leave it that way. But,
well, look, man, there are a lot of jobs where you will question why the person you have to answer to is the person you have to answer to, right? I mean, we've all been there look, man, I recognize your position. We used to have an old boss like this, and I would straight up tell him, I have no reason to have to explain anything to you because you don't get it. I might as well speak Greek, right? You'd understand just as much, other than the fact I can't speak Greek. But I'm like, it's ridiculous. Look, nothing against you, man. You're not qualified to speak to me about this. And I'm not being mean, but find the person that can speak to me about this and let them get me in trouble.
Didn't you say when you were in culinary, or you're working in a kitchen, the chefs that would come in from culinary school, it's the same, well, on a different level. A lot of military members will bitch about the academy members coming in.
Right, because
they've gone to 4 years of college. Yes, they went to an academy. Sure. It is a big deal. They graduate as a what?
Commissioned officer.
Commissioned officer.
Correct.
So they often come into situations where guys who've been in the military and girls who've been in the military since they were 18, who've been doing whatever.
They've been doing
job.
it.
Now, you got someone who's coming in and they're fresh and they don't know yet as much as you do already.
Sure.
But they're telling you what to do. And the same thing you said with the guys from culinary school.
Culinary school. And look, they can cook. So what we found when I was working in restaurants, when you're working on the line, like culinary guys would come in. And this is not all of them, but some of them came in, with a certain swagger and attitude. And look, we know you can cook. You went to culinary school. But you're in a restaurant now, homie. So something has gone down, and this person needs a well-done 12-ounce steak, but they need it in 3 minutes. And the first thing out of their mouth, and that was always our first thing to them, what do you do to make that happen? And instantly, we can't do that. We're like, stop talking. Do not help us today. Stand back and learn. This is a restaurant. This is not where you get 3 days to make whatever your final project's going to be. This is a restaurant. From the time that person orders something, they expect it in a certain amount of time, whether you're busy or not. So your skill to cook food is off the chart. Your skill to work in a restaurant is non-freaking existent. You know who's a great cook? My grandmother was a fantastic cook, but it took her 24 to 36 hours to make whatever it is she was making that was very, very good. You got 7 minutes. Right? And if you can't figure that out, then you can't be here. And look, it's not a big secret. It is not hard to do, but sometimes you have to unlearn some of what you know, because being a great cook and working on a line can be two very different things, because a lot of people that can't normally cook can work on a line, because it's almost like a factory. This is how you prepared this meal, right? And you end up learning to cook almost by accident. So this is the process you follow to make this dish happen. So a lot of guys with no cooking experience, they can go in there because they can handle the stress. You can handle just the things that are said in the kitchen, and you kind of rock and roll and you get it done. By the time they're done, they can now cook their ass off, because you kind of learn by accident. But a lot of the culinary guys, like, dude, no one disputes your knife skills. No one disputes whether or not you can cook. But again, we're in a restaurant now. The customer does not care your background. The customer wants a goddamn food they ordered. So while you're hemming and hawing or giving out advice, that would drive us absolutely crazy. There was a guy named Glenn. I can't say I didn't like Glenn, but Glenn was a culinary guy, and he kind of talked like this. And this is one of the restaurants we're at, and it was day number 1 for him.
Cordon bleu.
And he's working with me and my buddy Jamie, and we were both very efficient on the line. 2 of us could work together well. So Glenn is there. He's kind of buzzing around. And we get slammed. It's no big deal. And on this particular dish, it's a salmon dish, but one of the things is you use preheated saute pans, right? So I throw the saute pans on there, a little bit of olive oil, the flame's up. When they get to a certain temperature, that's when you drop your salmon in. You're just kind of flashing it. Where we kept the salmon was in a little drawer under the line. So I open the drawer, the stove essentially is behind me, so I take the 2 pieces of salmon, kind of flip them under my arms, and they land in the pans. And there's a psst. Came on, the ticket machine's going on, and Glenn saunters over to me and says, "Hey, Steve, we were told that when you lay stuff down in hot grease, if you do it slowly from front to back, it minimizes the splash." And I said, and I can see Jamie's face is just like, oh, boy. So I set down my knives while the ticket machine's going crazy, and I looked at Glenn, and I said, "Did you go to the class that says if you ever interrupt me during a rush to tell me some bull ass like that means nothing, that I will stab you in the chest with my chef's knife?" He's like, "No, so that's the most important class you should take." Oh, man. He said, "Stand back, shut the F up." So we worked with him for a little while longer. He went on and did his own thing. So now fast forward, now I'm working in radio. Me and my wife go to visit our friend Dizzle, who lives in this place called Ellicott City. And Ellicott City has this, it's kind of like Edmonds, right? It has this cute little walk, they're downtown kind of thing.
Super old.
And, I like Ellicott
City. Yeah, and it was a cool spot. But a lot of really good bars, really good restaurants, but it was still, it never went crazy, right?
Yeah.
So we were walking down the street. I did not hear this guy say my name. And my, then girlfriend, now wife's like, "Hey, there's a chef standing in front of his restaurant. He just said your name." So I walk back there. It is this dude, Glenn, right? I've not seen him like 3 or 4 years. And we're happy to see each other, but I was never nice to him. But I was just like, bro. And keep in mind, his goal was always to open his own restaurant. That's all he wanted to do. And now he had a spot. And again, this place, Ellicott City, that's a great place. Open your own restaurant, maybe seats 20 people. But he had it, and he's standing up front, has his clipboard, and I'm looking at his specials, and it's all the stuff he wanted to do as a culinary guy. And I was like, "Dude, congratulations." He goes, "Hey, I just wanted to say the best thing that happened to me was working with you." I'm like, "Nice. Are you being serious?" He goes, "Look, dude, you're just a hard ass, but to understand what the process is to get it done." And he's like, "No, I'm mean to my guys." I'm like, no. That's
just like you.
Yeah,
I'm like you. I want to be like you, watching you.
And I was like, "No, I was mean to you because you were annoying." I'm like, "Don't just be mean to the guys." He's like, "Okay." But, that was the best thing. I'm like, well, okay.
At the end of the day, it's whatever advice gets you to level up, if you will.
And that was basically, I wasn't trying to be mean to him, but it's like, man, again, there's a restaurant. We are busy. You're going to tell me tell me after the shift if you think it matters that much. Right now, it's about getting your job done.
Right. Because he went in there thinking that he knew everything. And then as soon as he saw somebody that actually knew, it's like, wait a minute, I'm actually a lot further down than I knew it was.
I know you can outcook me, but this is a restaurant. This is not about that. If you're someone's personal chef, you're the guy. This is the restaurant. Shut up.
What is the best or worst advice you've ever given or received? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Emmett. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So the best advice starts in high school when they tell you have dreams and goals, but they don't finish the whole statement. You have to have 4 pillars in life. And the 4 pillars are motivation, determination, consistency, and a whole lot of persistency. And then you write down how you're going to be motivated, determined, consistent, and persistent. That information will allow you to formulate a plan so you can see your future. Because the only way you have a future is if you have a plan. You got to know where you're headed to be able to get there. Otherwise, you get stuck on the life treadmill.
Yeah, I agree.
So who shared all of that with you?
A Marine, when I was 21, he was 31, and he saw me struggling, and he kept on asking me, what do you want out of life? And all I had was a bunch of umps. I want, I want a wife and some kids, and I want to make decent money. I don't need to be rich, but I want to be able to provide comfortably. He's all right. How are you going to get there? And is this job going to get you there? Da-da-da-da-da. He sat me down and says, you got to learn what you want out of life before you even attempt to even try to find that. So,
solid advice, man.
Me,
Really is.
I just always thought it was the best advice I ever heard. I'm an Uber driver now, and I get these young kids in my car, and I tell them that because it helped me figure out where I needed to be. Because I failed college at first and didn't know how to get through it because I just didn't have no plan. I had no direction other than go to school.
Well, that's the tough thing.
That worked out.
My kids are going through high school and college. I'm like, you can say that, but what do you want to do? Because that S is not cheap. And right now they're both like, well, and I go, look, there's no pressure for me, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'd rather you take a gap year or a couple of years before you invest all this money in college, not knowing what you want to. No, look, and that doesn't guarantee success, but trust me, if you go in there not knowing what you want to do, you're just wasting money.
That's what happened to me. When I was great in high school. Like, I crushed school. I didn't even need to study. It concerned my parents with how well I was able to do it. They kept saying, I was not challenged.
But also, I think in high school, it's because there's no specific goal other than pass the class.
Exactly. So I took advantage of running start. My parents told me to do that. Free college, get in there, go get it done.
Yes.
So junior and senior year, I did running start, but I also figured out that they didn't take attendance there, and so there was nothing that actually forced you to show up. I flunked out of all of my college classes in junior and senior year. Yeah. Because I had no direction. Beyond that, I didn't have anything to do. So that's how I ended up, driving cars out on the lot and working in the detail shop. And I had no direction. I had no idea where to go. As soon as I figured out that radio was where I wanted to go, I went back in and that fire was lit again.
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
absolutely.
I was crushing classes left and right. And I went out there and got it. Do not go to college if you don't know where to go.
If you don't know, save the money and have experience.
A couple pieces of the worst advice you ever got. When I was having trouble with my marriage, I asked my mom for advice. She told me to get a lover. I didn't. I got divorced instead. What else? Mother told me that if I would beat my daughter's ass every now and then, she wouldn't misbehave. My daughter was 2. Just acting like a 2-year-old. Not doing that, Mom. Didn't take that advice. Another. Friend said I was stupid to buy a house in California because it was so expensive and the economy in California, America, was going into the crapper. That was 1999. You don't want to know what my house is worth now. Moving won't fix your problems. BS. I'm in better weather, making better money with more stuff to do. That was a lie. And when I was having I did that as well. Who Sucks Less is coming up, and we get your emails on the way next to the men's room at KISW.com.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Who Sucks Less is coming up, and first time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com. Couple from our question on the best or worst advice that you've ever given or received. Here's one. Love is like a deck of cards. At first, it's hearts and diamonds. After a while, You're looking for a club and a spade. Best advice I got from a crusty old construction worker when I was 20. He said, spend good money on your boots and your mattress, because if your boots are not in one, you're in the other. I researched, then went and bought a custom pair of boots from JK Boots out of Spokane. Cost about $800 at the time. 9 years later, I still have them. I wear them 5 to 6 days a week, 12 plus hours a day.
Damn.
Years after the boots, I finally got a nice mattress, but I don't talk it up as much as the boots. Thanks, guys. That from Emmett, the unofficial equipment mechanic, to the men's room. You spend 8 hours of your life a day in that thing.
Yeah.
It's well worth your time. And look, it's not cheap. It's one of those things where later in life, when you have the opportunity to be able to do it, just make sure that you make it a priority to do it.
The mattress?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you're broke, don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Because they cost way too much to get one that anyone calls good. So take the one with the urine and blood stains on it that your buddy gave you.
Also, and I would say the same thing with, like, especially if you're outside working with your footwear. Do you want to buy that $100 boots 3 years in a row, or just buy a $300 pair of boots and have it for a few years?
I did that with the vacuum cleaner. That was my big comeuppance, right? So we'd spend, I don't know, $90, $120 on the vacuum cleaner. And every 9 months, I'm replacing it. Finally, we just bit the bullet, dropped like $800 on the Dyson, however many years ago, but it lasted a decade.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that is money well spent.
Yep.
And plus, there's some clothing. Sorry.
Well, no, when you're younger, I'm just thinking with a mattress. Look, your body's not going to be as sore because
Right,
you're
you're
young.
fine.
The older you get, the more important that is.
Just sleeping hurts.
That's all. Yeah.
I was just going to say, some clothing brands, too, are expensive, but, like, it'll last forever.
It will last.
Don't you? I wouldn't recommend. People will buying it just for the brand, but some of them, it's like, I bought this jacket 10 years ago. It still looks and fits the same.
Right. Yep. And I'll say this about clothes. I said it the other day. If your wife's stuff is in the washer, don't move it into the dryer. Most of that stuff does not go in the dryer. You just don't know that. You haven't learned yet.
No, because I try not to buy clothes that you can't just
wash.
Yeah, launder.
Yeah, men buy clothes that can be washed.
Yes,
Women
and dried.
Women do not.
I like to hang my T-shirts.
Yeah.
Still wet?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just don't like to put them in the dryers. I mean, it's a little bit different now. It used to be shirts were all cotton.
Yeah, right. They're going to shrink.
They're going to shrink. And, like, some of them do, some of them don't. So I just kind of got in the habit of just washing them. And then most of my T-shirts I will hang up.
All right.
Okay. Best piece of advice I was ever given is to me by my 9th grade football coach. He said, life's not fair. Just get over it. Here's more. Happiness isn't having what you want. It is wanting what you have.
Yeah, it's true.
Another. You can't win a farting contest if you're afraid to poop your pants. What else we got here on the piece of advice? I was told this directly by Alton Brown. Effing up is valuable, meaning trying something, failing, and either learning or generating something new and unexpected has value.
Sure.
Well, it's like an old coaching
adage.
Or whatever you say, but just it's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. Like, everybody's going to make mistakes. Now, if you keep making the same mistake over and over.
Now you're dumb.
My wife and I were told, when you guys get into a fight, take your clothes off and see how long the fight will last.
I'd be picking fights all the time.
I think that's pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Just, hey, you know what? Stop. Take off your clothes.
Let's do it naked.
And stare at each other and figure out if you can keep this argument going. I don't think you can. Like, you're just standing there naked. From my dad, you don't have to go to school, work, whatever, obligation. You get to. That has stuck with me since I was about 13. That from John, West Coast Comptroller for Ted's Fan Club.
Nice.
And one more. Ola Bros, the one thing in business that an old boss taught me was the old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. In the case of competition. In my 18 years in the business industry on my own, I live by that. That from Pangea Joe. All right, time for a few birthdays brought to you by Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa from San Juan Salsa Company.
Dip responsibly.
Good morning, guys. Looking to get our annual birthday shout out to my husband, Brant, who is turning 50, and our daughter, Allison, who is turning 11 today. They're lucky enough to share the same birthday. So can I get a fish sandwich for Brant, a junior fish sandwich for Allison, and top it off with a Suck It Up cupcake? Guys, my birthday's on Monday, and I'm turning 45. Can I get a bong rip for me? Sincerely, that from Nicole. Nicole, you can't.
On Monday?
You could if we were here, but we're at the golf tournament.
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow's Montgomery Golf
honestly,
Classic.
I'll tell you, like, we do it for you Monday,
Tough.
but that's a lie. We can't.
Tell you what, we'll do a real bong rip.
Fish sandwich.
Fish challenge. So suck it up, cupcake.
Okay. What else we got? Want to wish my amazing daughter, Haley, a very happy 21st birthday. Truly is a gift to be your dad. Completely cool as a parent. You don't care about drinking as well. Save that S so you're in your mid to late 30s. You seriously kick ass as a person. Love you. Happy birthday, MK. Have Coach Ted explain why Washington is better than Texas.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of reasons here. Pretty simple. We'll start with weather. All right? Sure, it can be a little gloomy here in Washington, but in Texas, it is hot most of the year. You're going to hate it. 2, teams that actually win championships, like the Seahawks. If you live in Texas, you have the Cowboys and the Texans. 3, the outdoors. Did you grow up liking mountains? Well, forget about that if you move to Texas, all right? I've been to the hill country. It ain't a real hill. What else we got? Food, people,
education.
Yeah. And look, I love Austin.
You have energy.
There's parts of Texas that are cool, but I like Austin. I'd rather live here.
Yeah. All the dudes from the Detroit area this week, my guy Mike, and I would like to give a birthday shout-out to our nephew Xander, who is 21 today. He is a funny, smart, hardworking kid that would love Coach Ted talking about him being a D&D dork, a little about his maybe Vietnamese heritage, and the captain telling him how he should celebrate the big 2-1. Maybe a few dad jokes from Miles sprinkled in there for some flair. Thanks, gents, and rock on that from Rose in Tacoma, now in Detroit. Coach Ted, sorry.
All right. It's a child of Vietnam descent, or Vietnamese, as I would say. Listen, Coach isn't going to lie to you. I think D&D is kind of nerdy stuff. But Coach got old, and nerds are cool now. So you got that going for you, which is a nice bonus. And maybe you'll meet a young woman who likes to play nerd stuff.
Captain.
Ooh, well, ahoy there, and happy 21st birthday. Well, what did I do? Well, I'd say if you want to party like the El Capitan on the 21st, you want to crush up some Xanax, spread it on a cookie sheet along with marijuana seeds, liquid plumber, dust mites, bed bugs, beard hair from a homeless fisherman, 2 dirty fingernails, and dandruff from a stranger. Now, you're going to want to bake that for 15 minutes at 350 degrees, cut into little brownie squares, and prepare to be wowed. Or possibly die. Crunch berries.
Wowed. All right, a couple dad jokes.
Wowed.
I tell you guys, I can't take my dog to the park anymore because the ducks keep trying to bite him.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
He's purebred.
Yep, all right.
What word is always spelled incorrectly in the dictionary? What word is always spelled incorrectly in the dictionary?
Incorrectly.
Incorrectly. Do you think monsters are good at math? Monsters?
I don't know.
Well, no, but unless you count Dracula. What do you call that annoying waiter that keeps topping off your coffee?
I don't know. What?
Phil.
Okay.
Yesterday, a clown held a door open for me.
All right.
It was a nice gesture. And finally, my pet salmon called Ella died today of food poisoning.
She have salmonella?
Fellas, what you...
So stupid.
I know. Would you wish my son Frank and Beans a happy 22nd birthday? He's been listening to you guys for so long, you once gave him an andropenis for his 10th birthday. So maybe have the captain tell about going camping with the other mascots. Thank you. That from the old man and Jill.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. Yeah, me and the mascots do our annual camping trip, but we all agreed that this year Count Chocula can't go with us anymore. You see, he's a vampire. So he sleeps all day. Then the rest of us mascots are trying to sleep. He's making a bunch of noise sucking. And he's not sucking blood, if you know what the old Capitan means. Crunch.
I know what you mean, unfortunately.
He's loud about it.
Old Michelle is today on White. LeBron is 40. He should be gambling, and he is in need of some Coach Ted advice on how to make the most of his 40s. Maybe a little captain reminding him to make it happen. Gracias, bitches. That from the lovely Serena.
Oh, turn it 40. Advice on being 40. First of all, you're White LeBron, so you're already the GOAT of, I guess, white guys.
Yeah.
Is there a Michael Jordan white version? No, only you. Second of all, man, your 40s are going to be fun. Everybody's like, I'm turning 40. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you need a better mattress. You don't wake up sore. But you've learned stuff now. You can adapt and overcome. Like, get out there. Stay young.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. I was asked to give you suggestions to make it happen. Here's the problem. It can be a lot of different things, so making it happen can lead to very different results. For example, one time, I saw the Jolly Green Giant putting grease on his fist. Then I heard Miss Butterworth say, make it happen. There was a lot of screaming after that. Crunch berries.
And finally, for the birthdays, Ola Bajolas, please give a shout out to my husband on his birthday today. He loves your show, listens daily. We're about to welcome our first child any day now. I am 39 weeks pregnant. So happy birthday to Alejandro. This year is extra special because not only are we celebrating you today, we're also counting down the days until you become a dad for the very first time. You're going to be an incredible father, and our little one is going to be lucky to have you. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Thank you, guys. That from the lovely Leslie, who says, add something funny at the end if you can. How about your self-giving birth there, Les? Congratulations.
Andre.
Yeah. All right, guys. Here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Now, the Men's Room wants to know, who sucks less?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Thrill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They always suck. It's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And we got the 3 stories as always. Let's start with the story that we brought up on the show, again, either earlier this week or late last week. But it involves an angry man, a 48-year-old man in Pennsylvania named Eric Pirwaski. He came home Tuesday after drinking all night, and his wife was not happy. That's crazy. I've never had that scenario. Anyway, she told him their marriage was over, and then they yelled at each other. And he said, quote, if it's over, I'll tear the house down. So he went outside, climbed into an excavator, and began tearing into the house while his wife and 2 daughters were still inside. As you might imagine, the wife called 911. Now, fortunately, the police showed up before anyone could get hurt, but the damage to the house was pretty significant, again, because he was in an excavator. So a big chunk of the roof was torn down, and experts say the structural integrity is in question. Eric is now facing several charges, including causing a catastrophe, reckless endangerment, and disorderly conduct. His wife is planning to seek a protection from abuse order as well.
Come on.
Let's move on. Right here in King County. A King County jury, they returned guilty verdicts on all charges against a man who used stolen nurse identities to place unqualified workers in nursing homes. So David Njenga, he created a sham staffing agency in Kent called Heritage Medical Staffing. He then renamed it to ProMed Alliance Medical Staffing Incorporated, and he collected payments for what facilities believed were licensed nurses, but were instead imposter nurses using identities and credentials of real nurses that he had stolen. Now, many of the imposter nurses displayed a lack of basic health care knowledge, including how to take a patient's blood pressure or administer the correct medication. Additionally, Njenga kept most of that money for himself, paying the imposter nurses far below what real nurses would be paid. And the imposter nurses, they worked at long-term care facilities in several areas, including Bothell, North Bend, Redmond, Shoreline, Vashon Island, and Yakima. The Washington State Medicaid Fraud and Abuse Division, they won default judgments of just over $40,000 against each of those businesses. And jurors convicted Njenga of leading organized crime, identity theft, and first-degree theft. He'll be sentenced on June 16th and faces anywhere from up to 16 and a half years in jail. That is, goddamn, buddy. And then we go back to the fine state of Pennsylvania, where a Pennsylvania volunteer firefighter, he's accused of setting 3 fires in just over 1 day, then helping to put 2 of them out. So 29-year-old Justin Shalley of Souderton, he's a member of the Perseverance Volunteer Fire Company. He faces arson and related charges after a series of blazes between Friday and Saturday in Montgomery County. No injuries were reported, but investigators say that 2 of the fires were close to occupied homes with a total of 18 people inside. 2 occupied homes, 18 people. God damn. People. Anyway, prosecutors allege that Charlie torched a roadside woodpile, then a detached garage and a barn in a town nearby, including the barn of a former boss who had fired him. And then finally a property in a place called Franconia where a barn, vehicles, and several outbuildings burned. So a license plate reader and data surveillance video tied Charlie's 2015 Ford Edge to all 3 scenes. And when interviewed, he confessed and admitted responding with his fire company to 2 of the incidents. A search of his vehicle and garage turned up fire-starting materials. He's now being held in prison after failing to post bail, with a preliminary hearing set for June 10th.
Okay.
So those are your stories. We have the guy that came home drunk. The wife's like, I'm done with this. Says, I'm going to tear the house down. Sadly, he actually meant it because he has an excavator handy and started tearing the house down with them in it. We have the guy here in King County who set up basically a fake nursing agency with fake nurses and sent them to multiple facilities to care for people long term. And again, they did not know to take blood pressure or administer medications. And then finally, the guy in Pennsylvania, volunteer firefighter, who set 3 different fires.
I want to say, Ted, the guy here locally sucks the most.
Yeah, because the issue is, like, you shouldn't be scheming or scamming people to begin with, but, like, those are people's lives.
It's people's lives. And the thing is, he went through the facilities. It's not even like he just like you specifically. So I'll be your private nurse. Like, he went to a facility that you're in with a bunch of other people, and the facility has been duped into believing that this guy's company is real. So they hired, multiple staffers from this guy.
Yeah, that just seems crazy to me.
Yeah. How would you not think you're going to get caught? You know how to take blood pressure? Sure don't.
I think it's almost more amazing that it got away with it to begin with. I mean, it just goes to show you what they'll do for the lowest bidder. But
that's it.
Gracious.
Now, the guy with the excavator.
Yeah.
My only problem with that story is the fact that his wife and 2 kids were present in the home when he started doing it. So, man, I think I'm going to go with the firefighter in Pennsylvania, sucking the least on this one, because no one was injured. Property was damaged.
Property was damaged,
but no one's life was in danger. Where the other 2 stories had I'm not saying those fires couldn't have spread, but he knew he was coming, hopefully, to put the ones out that were close.
Yeah, he shut up for 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's in jail.
But he's setting the fires.
Yeah.
Those people don't know.
Correct.
At least with drunk guy, he announced it before he went outside to do it.
Sure, but I don't know if I'd believe someone's... but then again, if there's an excavator outside and he's hammered, I'm more inclined to believe him. Because he's hammered and he has an excavator.
Right. Like, I don't know. If Miles was drunk and we were in his house and he's like, I'm going to shoot you guys. Well, I know Miles doesn't own a gun, so I would be like, all right.
But if he had a gun and
But
went
if he
upstairs,
owns a weapon and goes, I'm going upstairs to get my gun and come back to shoot you, I'd be a little more scared and probably would leave the house.
I would do that, yes.
So, and fire guy, I get it. He's a volunteer fireman. Look, I've seen Backdraft. It was Axe the whole time.
I know what you're going to say.
All right? They love fire. But he didn't know how that fire could spread, and there was 18 people in these 2 homes that were near it. Right? So he's banking on him getting there in time. The first guy is a complete psycho and terrible because his kids are in there. But I'm just assuming there was enough time for them to be like, oh, he's actually starting it and getting out of there. So that seems like, to me, there's a little more wiggle room as opposed to like, I'm just sitting in this house with 17 other people. We have no idea that there's a fire outside and it could be getting to us.
Right,
And smoke inhalation, like, yeah. I also think, I'm saying that guy sucks the least, the first guy. But even if his wife and kids weren't in there, like, why destroy the house?
Because I'm drunk and I have an excavator.
Exactly. Well,
I mean, honestly, like, that. Anyone levels threats when they're hammered and they're angry, but it's like, you're not going to do the thing you said. Either it's physically impossible, we've all been there, or you don't have the means to do it. But if dude's hammered and there's an excavator outside, and the fact that the wife said our marriage is done tells me she already knows how he is.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
This isn't a random incident.
Yeah, this is not the first time it's
like
happened.
Some guy randomly got drunk. Like, you do this all the time.
All the time.
Coming up at 5:08, we will drink and toast for the shot of the day. You are listening to The Men's Room.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
All right, Dakota at 5:08, we'll drink and toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. Foreign nationals working at the National Institutes of Health have been charged with smuggling monkeypox into the country and lying about it.
I don't feel like you have to add the and lying about it.
If they're smuggling it in?
Did you smuggle monkeypox in? No. I mean, like, I would just assume if you're smuggling something, you're going to lie about it.
Yeah, it's probably not a
you're
bad call.
smuggling it.
Yeah, it also seems like, though, at least with like a drug smuggler, like you'd be like, look, all right, you have this much. Just tell us who you're giving it to or who set you up.
Yeah.
We'll move up the chain. Like monkeypox smuggling, like,
who's your buyer?
Right? Like, yeah.
Who are you working for?
Yeah, why is it here?
I don't know. I'm concerned.
Monkeypox?
Monkeypox.
Yeah.
It's bad.
All pox scare me.
Yeah, if they had pox, I'm like, don't want it.
Right. I'm over it.
It itches.
There's only one good pox.
2.
Thank you, sir.
Jesus. There's only one. I get it. 2. This year's droughts are expected to get so bad that some reservoirs across Colorado and Oregon have given permission to fishers to take as many fish as they want out of the water. They're like, they're doomed anyway. Like they're gonna die because they're not gonna be able to get out of here and they're not gonna survive the water. So just get them all.
All right.
Yeah.
Fishing strong.
It's gonna be a warm summer.
It's gonna be a hot one.
It's gonna be warm and that drought. We don't have enough moisture, or we don't have enough snowpack and this and that. Like it's been a rough year.
Yeah, time to grab the AC unit. New research found that Big Tobacco Company used the same playbook to sell ultra-processed foods that they used to sell cigarettes.
Well, of course.
Which I didn't know that Big Tobacco Companies bought food companies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Philip Morris and Kraft are together, right?
Yes, that's correct. And then who was it? Roberts, the one that owns Camels. I think they got Nabisco.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. Camel and Nabisco.
Yeah.
The dream matchup. Of course they're using this. Look, smoking's not good for you. I'm a smoker. Ultra-processed food, which I eat, is not good for you. They have to be deceptive because if you told the truth, you'd never do it.
Right.
Right? Eat our bologna. Jesus Christ, it'll save 20 years off your life. Like, what do you expect them to do?
Pretty much.
It's just the same technique of like...
Get them when they're young.
Well, and tobacco, too. Like, there is some good uses for tobacco, this and that. But, like, cigarettes, as we know, there's just so much crap in them. And it's like, you can't not smoke them once you start. The same with, like, food. Everybody eats food.
Yep.
There's good food and bad food. But it's like, let's just design some chips. And I'm not using an excuse, but it's like, right, it's... Like, Lay's wasn't lying. It's very hard to just stop.
They know.
Have one. That's right. Put your thinking caps on, gents. Time for the Merriam-Webster word of the day. Steve, you currently hold the run at 2 in a row, so you get first crack at this one. It is a verb brought to you by the letter E. I give you guys 10% chance of making this one.
All right.
Steve, I'll give you 30. But it's a formal word that means to be the source or cause of something. To be the source or cause of something. An E word meaning to be the source or cause of something.
You said it's a verb?
A verb. To be the source or cause of something. Starts with an E, ends with an R. I'll even give you that.
The emanator.
Emanator. No. All right. Steve's streak is broken. Anybody else? Any guesses?
A lictor?
A lictor. No. Ted?
I said eye lictor.
You're very close. Engender is the word.
Oh, I know the word, but no, that would not have come to mind.
No.
Engender. All right.
Engender. The source or cause of something. Even reading it, I wouldn't have pegged that as the definition.
You're the engender of this fight.
Yeah.
Could I use that?
You can, but everyone would just stop and look at you. Like, man,
the hell did you say?
You're
You probably
ruining,
can't understand it, can you, woman? That's smart talk.
you're ruining my fight by.
Damn. Shots fired.
She left.
Americans born after 1970 are dying faster than previous generations did at their age, according to a new study.
Sweet.
Great. Got about 1 year.
The thing is that they make that sound like we're going to die before the next generation.
Is it like, I don't know, 2 months different?
Pretty much. Like it
used to be 73.5, now it's 73.2.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not going to go from an average of 73 to an average of 66.
Right.
Like
that's cause for concern.
Exactly. Honestly, us dying off quicker might not be the horrible thing as we make it out to be. Obviously, you want to live as long as you possibly can.
I think about it, I would think that's U.S. specific.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, it just goes back to processed foods and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, right. We know.
Population problem solved.
Right.
Well, even with money, right?
Yes.
Like what's super expensive besides gas is like beef,
Yeah.
right? Like proteins, good food.
So buy the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Indeed. Feeling older than your age was also recently linked to poorer sleep and worse daytime functioning.
I don't feel
Because
older
how
than
you
my
feel.
age.
Well, it's because you're not sleeping.
Right. I don't. I feel old.
Of course you feel old. Tired?
Really?
Run down?
My bones hurt.
Yeah. Did you not offer to take a nap? Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
You're tired. It's all right.
Gas
man.
there, buddy.
I like that. It's like, well, I don't sleep much because I feel older. Like, no, you feel older as you're not sleeping.
Don't sleep.
You're tired.
I hate to keep banging this drum, but get a sleep study.
D. Ted Smith. Yeah. A new study found that exercise alone won't make you skinny, but it still protects the heart.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Yeah.
Get healthy.
I feel like we're really focusing on this processed food stuff.
I know. Keeps coming back. Like, look, I mean, there's your bottom line,
Well,
man.
the best investment you can make in your health is to exercise.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And quit trying to find the quick fix.
Diet's great, but you still need to keep your body moving.
Right.
Look, you figure your diet out eventually, but if you work out, that'll all take care of itself because you'll start to eat better because you're working out and you want to feel better.
Right.
Well, your body will start dictating different things you want to eat for what it needs to replace what you actually burned off.
Get your 10,000 every day.
How many did you get a day now?
10,000.
10,000.
Do you just stop at 10? Like, I'm good? Or
There are certain days where, I think yesterday I got like 12.
That's what
But
I mean. Right?
There's a lot of days where it's like, crap, I got another 3,000 that I got to go.
But you get it done.
But I do.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to cap off the night. The lady and I will go walk down. We'll see who's in the bar and whatnot. Maybe accidentally make our way inside. And then just have a good old stroll.
You know, my wife keeps saying she wants to walk more. Summer's coming up. This will be the time.
Walk to the bar, bro.
That is our decision. It's there's enough hills and it's a good distance.
Yeah.
And she's like, you just want to walk to the bar to go to the bar. I said, yes. Yeah. What do you think? I'm stupid? But here's the thing. After we drink a couple beers, I take down a couple shots. You inevitably get Jello shots. When we walk back home, you burn some of that off.
Yeah.
There you go.
I do that urban walk all the time. I'll do South Lake Union. It's about 7 miles.
Right.
Takes me over an hour.
Yeah.
Right? And then when I go by the PI, I'm like, I'm going in right now for a beer and lunch.
Damn
Absolutely.
right.
You've earned it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a goal.
Exactly.
The goal is fish and chips.
Thank you.
I'm just going to walk around this lake first before I get here.
The wife used to give me grief about that. We can just walk. We don't. Why do we always have to have somewhere to go? We always have to go to a bar or a restaurant. It's like,
Yes.
I like the goal. I'm going to go there. I don't care how far away it is.
Because
I'll
now
walk
it's
there.
motivation
Right.
to do it.
If
At
I'm
the end
walking,
is a hot dog or whatever.
exactly. Like I don't mind walking to walk. However, I'm going to walk a lot shorter if I'm walking to
Yes.
walk.
Absolutely.
Versus I will walk 5 miles to get to a bar.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's like a fun adventure, but you're also walking.
Right.
My
Like, if
wife
you're just
and
walking
I-
to walk,
I'm in
it's
Lord of the
exercise.
Rings, man.
Yeah.
If you want to, do it one way. Take it, go a route you never do.
That's right.
Go to a place that's farther away. Uber your ass home.
Damn straight. Damn straight. Ted, what day is it, buddy?
Hump day.
Exactly. It's also repeat day.
What day is it?
Repeat day.
What day is it?
Repeat day. So I decided, what am I going to do for repeat day? Well, you know what I did? I went back in the archives, boys.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
And on this day, repeat day, last year we covered 10 black markets that you didn't know existed. So I thought, let's run it back.
Lexington Market. Mondawmin Mall. It's a Baltimore joke. They live there.
So I looked it up. And they went with 10 interesting...
Merry-go-round, sir.
Damn. 10 interesting wartime black markets. Wartime black markets.
All right.
So it says one thing that you can always count on: the moment that you deny something to people or charge them prices that they can't afford, an entrepreneur is born. Getting people things cheaply, even when it's not legal, happens all over the world. And during wartime, when resources become scarce, black markets can spring up to meet any conceivable need. So these are the 10 interesting wartime black markets.
All right.
Number 10, Ted, you've already mentioned it today, meats.
Okay.
Yeah. The rationing of meat during the Second World War was one of the biggest opportunities for black marketeers to latch onto. American consumers were accustomed to beef, pork, and to a lesser degree of lamb and veal. But these meats were also needed by the military for the troops. Farmers could get more money selling the meat to the government than they could at the market, so more went into the war effort and less stayed at home. Thus, meat got expensive.
There you go.
And so then the black market.
You need steaks? I'd be like, you know what? Let me take a look at it.
I got steaks.
Honestly.
Guy's got a cooler in the back of his car.
Somebody's got a van with like a couple igloo coolers. Like, I got meat in the back. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Meat you got,
Think about like the old school guy with
do you
like
have?
the trench coat and stuff. He opens it up. It's like pastrami.
It's vacuum packed.
Right. It's all
hanging from the
dry
inside.
cured. Yeah. Like want some?
You want some brisket?
I got jerky in the left sleeve, bro.
Got pickled eggs in my boots.
Oh, God.
You Slim Jim there, bud? I got you. Slim Jim. Oh, boy, Alberto. Gasoline shows up on the list. Of all the substances rationed for wartime, gasoline was one of the most important. In 1943, the U.S. was running about 500,000 barrels a day short of what it needed thanks to the military use. Rationing had to account for that discrepancy. There were 1.8 million barrels being filled every day, and the military needed 600,000 of them. 17 states started rationing gas in May of 1942. This was up to 48 states by the year's end. Drivers were issued stamps that spelled out their gas allotment. The speed limit was reduced to allow gas conservation, and carpooling was encouraged, but the black market rose up to meet the demand as well.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Hey, man, I got gas.
Hey, brother, I got some gasoline.
That seems like a weird one.
Yeah, like meat, I can get, like,
I can look at his thing. I don't know what that liquid is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you did with it. Did you steal it?
Right?
You had to have stolen it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, they're not refining it, more likely. So
right. Whose car did you siphon this out of?
That red Pinto, that's mine. Okay, it's on the house.
All right, man. Let's be right on back. Interesting wartime black markets. Sugar. Who's got the sugars? The black market. It was the first product to be rationed during the war in the U.S. and Canada as well.
No, good. Good. Yes.
Interesting phrase.
It's a diabetes show.
It's right there, man.
Roll with it.
I see what you did.
Roll with it. Wow.
It was the last thing to come off the list when the war ended. At one point, rations were down to 15 pounds per year. Adults were using 1 cup per week at a time when baking and canning were common and encouraged. Black market sellers faced stiff penalties, and those who trafficked in sugar could lose the license to make anything with it if they were caught.
Now, I'm not a baker, but that's typically where that shows up.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
for me, I do have sugar in my house.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you the last time I used sugar in anything.
A cup of coffee. That's it.
I mean,
my wife will bake, but for me,
I use agave. Because I'm that guy.
You got agave, Miles.
You know what? You're right. I think I have a thing of brown sugar, but that I use.
Well,
that.
brown is different than I'm not thinking
Correct,
pure
but
cane
you're right.
sugar.
I don't think I own raw sugar in my home.
It was one of the things that disappeared during the pandemic. You remember, as soon as that hit, when it was toilet paper first, and then everything baking, the flour, the sugar.
And for me, brown sugar is just rubs and caramelized onions. That's pretty. That's pretty well the spectrum.
And marinades and all that stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. Seasoning.
Yeah, for savory stuff, oddly enough.
No kidding, dude.
It's brown sugar, which is delicious. Oh, no, this is going on a meat product.
Right. I remember when I first made barbecue sauce. It's like, I know that there's a sweetness to it, but dang, there's a lot of sugar in it.
You mix it with anything like soy sauce, whatever. Next thing you know, you got a totally different product.
Yeah. Cigarettes. Again, these are the interesting wartime black markets. Let's see here.
Our soldiers need these.
A black market for cigarettes was established in Canada thanks to Americans coming across the border. They were easier to get in the U.S., but not so much in Canada. So when a pair of enterprising Edmontoners were caught with a stash of 4,200 American smokes, the RCMP were quick to find them and arrest the Americans involved as well.
I bought a pack of smokes, and the woman's like, "Don't buy them here. I got a secret. I'm making up the brand name. I can't remember what it is. There's a brand called Golden, and they sell it up in Shoreline at that smoke shop off Aurora. And you go up there, and the carton is about $60 to $80. And I'm like, I believe you. Listening to you. I buy 4 or 5 cartons a week.
Oh, do ya?
Shocking.
I got a secret.
I got a secret. And this is it's a big time retail store.
Sure.
Don't buy the cigarettes here. It's worth your time to drive to Shoreline. I'm telling you right now.
Oh my God.
I was like, I actually believe you. Right. She's like, they burn faster.
Oh, do they?
But they taste about the same.
What is your
about the same?
Goodness gracious. 10 interesting wartime black markets. Tires. Rubber was one material that the government needed for war effort, and the demand for it was high. Unlike many food products, which were rationed, rubber sales were essentially halted altogether. These tires were no longer being produced. So great was the demand for rubber that people would go to work for the day and come back to their car missing their tires.
Oh, damn.
Black market tires were available for upwards of $50 a piece.
We used to call that city living.
That was 5 times the regulated price for a brand new tire during the war.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Tires.
And it makes sense, though. You need a lot of rubber.
No kidding.
Well, the used tire stores always seem to scare the living hell out of me. But I bought them. I bought retreads when I was 16, 17 years old. Where they glue a new tread on an old tire like this. In theory, is a horrible idea.
But I can afford this.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do all used tire lots, though, look the same?
Because they're selling hubcaps, too.
I know. Just I feel like wherever I'm at in the country, like they always look kind of the same.
Yeah, kind of a universal look.
You never see a car pulled into a hubcap world. No. Like there's never been a customer there. It's just some dude sitting on a chair outside. Like, hey, I got him. Like, yeah, you do.
He doesn't buy the cigarettes from there either.
Last black market thing somebody told me about was talking to a dude about watching cricket.
All right.
And he was Indian. He's like, I'm not going to say what city. He's like, there's an Indian store there. You go in the back. He gave me the whole direction and how to ask for it. And he's like, forget about this and that. It's an illegal black box. You get every channel, but you'll get Willow for free. I was like, it's all right, man.
We're good, dude.
Yeah. He was real intense about it, though.
Watches. In the closing days of World War II, as the Allied forces came together in Berlin, black markets sprang up that allowed American, British, and Soviet forces to mingle and buy items that they had been denied in previous years during the war. And Americans soon learned that the thing Soviet troops craved more than anything was watches. It was not exactly a common item. Watches meant affluence and importance, but more than that, they meant money, literal money. Russian currency was not stable, but a watch always had value. Soldier could send a watch home to his wife, and a single wristwatch could be traded for an entire cow. Technically, Americans were not allowed to participate in black market dealings, but the fact that some Russian troops were sporting up to a dozen watches on their arm indicates that it was probably more common than you might think.
Yeah.
Because people need money.
Yeah. That's a weird line, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. You beat up on the Nazis, you stole some of their watches, some to the Russians. I don't care.
Yeah. Housing shows up on the list. Of all things that you'd think would be available on the black market, housing seems like the least likely. In fairness, nobody was smuggling houses and selling them behind closed doors, but there were shady dealings when it came to rental expenses in certain areas. Numerous American workers had gone north to Canada during the war, and that created a housing problem in cities like Edmonton, where rural workers were coming into the city looking for jobs. Rent was capped at $25 a month, and landlords were required to register their properties. However, those who saw the housing shortage as an opportunity to make money quickly skirted those rules. Some people ended up paying $10 a month to stay in a garage. Others would pay as much as $40 or $50 a month. This eventually rose to $100 or more, and house sales reached 300% of regulated rates.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's fun.
That's not a black market I've ever heard of.
No, black market housing. Yeah.
And this is not going to shock you here either. Ration stamps.
Sure, of course.
For some black marketeers, the best and easiest way to work around the system was not to work with individual commodities, but to play the whole system altogether. Ration books full of stamps were used by citizens in most allied countries. You had to exchange stamps in exchange for specific goods, and if you didn't have the stamp, you couldn't buy the product, whether it be meat, coffee, sugar, or anything else. People would pay upwards of £10 for a forged ration book in 1943 in England.
Yeah.
For forgeries. Yeah.
Yeah, people are hungry.
People are hungry, and they will do what they have to do in order to fill that gut.
That is correct.
100%. Nylons show up on the list, which is interesting. They hit the market in May of 1940, replacing classic silk stockings. Nylon stockings were easier to clean and lasted longer. 4 million pairs sold out in 2 days. Dang. It was safe to say that consumers loved them, and then in December 41, they vanished. The war effort needed nylon to make parachutes and other items. There'd be none for the legs at home. The results created a lucrative black market that saw a single shipment of purloined nylon sell for $100,000.
Good God.
To understand just how beloved the nylon was to the American women, you need to only look at what happened after the war. In 1945, when the rationing was lifted and nylons hit the shelves again, pandemonium broke. Lines of women over 1,000 people deep were around the stores. 40,000 women showed up to buy 13,000 pairs in Pittsburgh.
Good God.
They want to cover their legs.
Or they're bank robbers.
Or they're bank robbers.
But, like, nobody wears them much anymore.
No.
You don't see many skirts anymore.
I see a lot of skirts, but I think nylons, quote unquote, are for much older generation.
Yeah, correct.
Much older.
Because it's still kind of formal. You know, ladies will wear shorts and whatnot, but they just shave their legs.
Leggings now.
And they'll wear leggings, right? That works, so it's just...
I'm like thrilled though. I can only remember like my grandma and my mom going to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think I'm. Well, my wife might. I'm not positive. But then this is the number one interesting wartime black market, and it's not going to shock you at all. Kind of one of every black market. Liquor, drugs.
Yeah,
drugs.
Yeah,
it's not legal.
There's always been a black market for drugs, so there's no surprise that such a thing existed in wartime as well. What's surprising, however, is how pervasive it was during the Vietnam War. The black market was not stateside. It was in country, and the amount of drugs used by the U.S. soldiers was pretty staggering. According to official reports, only over 51% of soldiers had used marijuana. Not such a staggering statistic for modern-day civilians, but it would have been concerning to people back in 71 when the report was released. More concerning was the 31% who used psychedelics like LSD or mushrooms and the 28% using heroin or cocaine. If a quarter of your fighting forces are high on heroin and strapped with machine guns, you may have an issue. Let's see here. Marijuana was plentiful and cheap for the American soldiers. A carton cost about $5. A pack of cigarettes could be traded for it. When the Army cracked down on pot smoking after an uproar stateside, many soldiers switched to heroin, which was just as easy to find and didn't have a telltale odor.
Look what you did.
Good job.
Congratulations.
My God, they're smoking weed. Well, now we're on heroin. Enjoy that. Good job, kids. Look what you did. A man in California drove past the scene of a crash and ended up in jail, Miles.
How did that happen?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast an eagle-eyed resident of Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Our anonymous honoree called the police after spotting a man in camouflage carrying a bazooka walking down the street. So as you would imagine, the cops responded very quickly and tracked the guy down. And sure enough, he was standing in someone's yard. It turns out he was not a one-man militia, however. He was, in fact, a one-man landscaping service, and he did not have a bazooka. He had a leaf blower. The only accurate thing is that he was wearing camo. And the cops said, look, before you bang down this person, if you're that worried, please call us. The good news is it's a man with a leaf blower, not a man with a bazooka.
Jesus.
Yeah. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bijola.
All right, it's going to contest on the line for Profile This, 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Thrill Hill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth, 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 Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Now, our caller has since dropped off. You three gentlemen will be competing against one another. And today you have your choice of one of three categories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. And finally today, Seriously, where you best guess the petty conflict that led to violence.
Drugs.
All right, we go to Tarrant County, that's in Texas, where a jury found a Lake Worth, Texas man guilty of DWI for operating a vehicle while under the influence on high levels of drugs. One Brian Moore, 60 years old, he was sentenced to 2 years probation. Now, another driver captured video of Moore's gray Ford Edge running over a median and smashing into multiple cars at an intersection before driving away at a high speed and continuing to drive erratically until crashing into cars stopped at a red light several blocks away. Well, the Tarrant County Criminal District Attorney's Office, they said Moore damaged 8 other cars. Now, he told police he was on his way to the pharmacy when he got sidetracked and ended up on Crowley Road. And his pastor then testified at the sentencing, confirming that Moore has since been to rehab. He's gotten his dependency under control, and thanks to that testimony, he got probation instead of putting his ass in jail. It's Texas. Come on. But the question is, what was Brian high on when he crashed into not 1, not 2, not 3, but 8 cars? Was it Xanax? Was it Ambien? Was it weed? Or was it shrooms? So Xanax, Ambien, weed, or shrooms? Oh, my.
As far as addictive nature goes, dependent nature on it, I'm leaning Xanax on this one.
All right, makes sense. Keep in mind, it's Texas, so never mind, everything is addictive.
Yeah, weed is addictive over here. What was the second choice?
The sleeping one, right?
Ambien.
I think he's on Ambien.
Okay.
He just keeps taking it.
You said he was on his way to the pharmacy?
He said he was on his way to the pharmacy.
That tells me he didn't have Xanax or Ambien. He was going to pick it up. He was on weed.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, what was this guy on? Xanax, Ambien, weed, or shrooms? We'll find out next.
Oh, you son of a whore.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men.
Now at McDonald's, everyone can get more of what they want, when they want it, with McValue. You can choose your wake-up call. You can choose your study meal, or even your drive-through dinner.
Ah, the sun is rising, and our breakfast prices are falling. Right now, get a sausage McMuffin, hash browns, and more for under $3 each. Limited time only. Price or participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Category strikes on profile this as we head to Texas. Texas man guilty of a DWI. He was on some drugs, hit multiple cars, 8 of them altogether.
8, yes.
If not more than that. And he said he was on his way to the pharmacy to get more drugs. So the question is, what was this guy on? Xanax, Ambien, weed, or shrooms?
And that is the question that I posed to you three fine gentlemen. We start with Mike Hawkins.
Oh,
You went with Xanax?
I did.
It was not Xanax.
Damn it.
That's the, I'm nervous to fly, let me pop this pill at the airport pill.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
In other words, I'm a drug addict, but this gives me an excuse to do it. Miles, you went with weed, saying he was on his way to the pharmacy because he does not have his Ambien and or his Xanax. However, it was not weed.
All right.
And D. Ted Smith, in spite of the fact that they didn't say that he said anything racist, you went with Ambien.
Correct.
And you are correct.
Good job.
It does make you racist, but you don't have to say it.
Right, you just have to say it out loud. You just have those thoughts.
You just have to sing it. Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with T.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got the Jimmies.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Seth Meyers. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That is right. The Ice guys have teams of talents and writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Tom Hanks says Toy Story 5 has a modern nemesis. A modern nemesis? Are Woody and Buzz struggling with college debt?
Seth.
Yeah, I'll say Seth.
Smith!
Good work, Ted. That was a good one. It's like, where's he going to go with this one?
Well, I was thinking everybody's kind of struggling right now, but college debt seems to be a massive one.
Yeah.
Starbucks has unveiled its summer menu. You can go online and read it now, or do what most of their customers do and wait until you're at the front of the line.
Amen.
Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Starbucks has unveiled its summer menu. You can go online and read it now, or do what most of their customers do and wait until you get to the front of the line.
No freaking joke, dude.
Throw, what's always our impression of people that drive through?
You've been in line for 15 minutes. The menu has literally been sitting up there, and you don't know what you want to eat.
You've driven past 3 menus where the speaker doesn't work to read the menu before you get to the one where the speaker works.
Part of the percentage of people, too, like, you went there for a specific sandwich or something.
I think Sinbad put it best, man. He said, nobody goes to McDonald's and doesn't know what they already want.
Right.
So he's like, so when they ask you, what can I get you? Do not hem and haw like, well, like, you know why you're there.
You know what they should do, man? Put like a little AI talk box there so that people can think that they're talking to somebody on the inside. Okay, you're going to need to pull forward to the next menu in order to order that. That way people freaking know what they want.
Fallon's joke is pretty good, but honestly, he has real teams of writers and his staff, so there's so much production in it, I couldn't figure out a way to paraphrase it. So we're just going to play it.
A cruise line has proposed a plan to build a massive mile-long ship that would hold 80,000 people called the Freedom Cruise. Yeah, they already released a commercial for the first cruise. Check it out.
All aboard the Freedom Cruise. Sign us up, says Travel and Leisure. We're all in, says TripAdvisor. Oh, you know I'll be there, says Diarrhea. I can't wait to get on board, says Norovirus. The Freedom Cruise will make the Titanic look like a good idea.
80,000 people?
Would you want to be on a floating city with 80,000 people?
Right. No. Like, all right, for you guys, it's a Ravens game. For Mike and I, it's a Hawks game.
All right.
We're all Hawks fans. That's what, 70,000?
In Lumen, I feel like it's, what, maybe 60?
Maybe 60. So imagine you're at a stadium with 80,000 people. Now, you all have this thing in common, and you still don't like some of those people. Now imagine spending a week with them.
But here's the difference. if you get really pissed off at the Hawks game, you can leave. Right? You can walk out. But, like, on the cruise ship, bro, look, you can either throw yourself overboard or you can find a way to deal with it.
I think you need a support cruise ship that has a hospital on it, that has life rafts on it. They can take anything. If anything goes wrong, that thing is behind it, like Zuckerberg had when he was in Seattle.
Right. His the Precloskiness of the yacht.
Yeah, if you need a helicopter pad to get somebody, I bet
you they've got it all.
Something.
I just think spending a week with 80,000 people sounds insane.
Food is going to suck.
And like I said, sometimes you might be I don't care what the team is. Sometimes you're just going to sit next to a fan you don't want to be near.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, there's 4 quarters of ball, and then it's over.
Are we sure that that's an actual number of people, 80,000?
That is what they are.
Because I'm looking at it, the average ship, according to the AI overview here on Google, the average ship carries around 3,000 guests.
Well, it's a mile long.
It's a mile long.
Oh,
dude.
God, that's
right. Once you do that, the math starts adding up.
I'm not even going to talk about the driving thing.
I don't know where you pull it in.
Ew.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I mean, the boat would have to take you out to be deep enough in water where...
Right, because they design these ports. They are not designed for a mile-long boat.
Right. So that you would have to have a transport boat to get to that boat.
80,000 people disembarking, roughly speaking, within an hour.
Right. Yeah.
There's nowhere on earth that is built to deal with 80,000 people who want to snap pictures of whatever your town's got.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be great.
We're good.
Can you imagine 80,000 people showing up at the Pike Place Market? This big mile-long boat pulls in, and within an hour, there are 80,000 additional people. No one knows where they're going. They're all lost.
I mean, just think about when you leave a concert at Lumen.
Right.
Right? Like, Miles and I went to the Rolling Stones. There's more people at the concert. I mean, it took hours to get out
That's
of there.
why we went to a bar. That was our excuse.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's
Let's
why.
go to the bar. Well, I meant that there. I didn't know he was in there, but
That was his excuse, too.
well, seriously, we were like, you can't get on anything.
I will say it was that bad. We did wait it out a little bit. But we were like, what's the point?
Yeah.
All right, Kristen Cavallari. We all know her. Reality TV, was married to
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah. Do we know her for anything else? In other words, was she an actress or was it she was reality TV and then...
She was on, I want to say, The Hills. Or
was
like
that reality or was that like a Beverly?
Yeah, that was about these kids that lived in a super fancy area.
Okay. I remember the name. I was
Laguna Beach, The Hills.
Laguna Beach, then The Hills.
Okay. All right.
I mean, honestly, right now, I think that's where we got Spencer Pratt from, too.
Yeah, that one. Jesus Christ, I know.
So, yeah.
Well, she likes dating multiple guys. I know that.
I would also say Laguna Beach, if you ever get a chance. It's gorgeous.
Right.
You're talking about the town.
Sure.
Because there's ugly women there, too.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she has this podcast. She talks about a lot of stuff. So she brought up a tricky dude. She said she was...
this tricky?
Actually, it's kind of tricky and slimy.
Let us be the judge.
Just share.
Yeah, let us be the judge of that.
She didn't name the guy. She just said he's a very famous man. Said they went on 2 really good dates. The second one, they were at the guy got a suite at the Beverly Hills Hotel. They swam all day, took showers separately. Then they had dinner on the patio where the guy made his move. Basically, she paraphrased and said they were talking about body insecurities. He said that his penis had a mole on it, and he wanted to show her, so he whipped it out.
She's clever.
Well, she says, I didn't see a mole, so he told her it was flesh-colored. Probably have to look closer. So, like she said, basically, he's got the thing, like, in her face. She was like, nothing happened. But I kind of agree with her here. She goes, look, I get the idea, right? Like, once your penis is out, it's pretty common to get intimate. She's like, this is his move.
That's his go-to.
I mean, from her story.
I mean, look, assume she's telling the truth. I'm like, I just don't find it clever.
No. Yeah.
I got to
I see what you're saying. I'm like, it is creepy.
No, it's definitely creepy. I think it's creepier than it is clever. I don't read the whole story, but I'm like, wait a minute. Your smooth move is...
I said tricky.
Have a mole on my penis.
It would be more funny if he said, I'm going to get dessert and came back with a donut for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. You're like, donut.
I think, and she just kept saying he was very famous. I think some of these people are just so used to people being like, all right.
Well, she is too, though.
Who do you think it could be?
Oh, with her? Who knows?
It's not that. She's good looking. Anyone would be happy about that. But, like, who's the person who's like, I broke up my go-to trick. It's the mole on the penis trick. Like, come on, man. If you weren't famous, would that work for you?
Well,
hey, want to see the mole on my penis? I just can't imagine, like, oh, my God, could I?
I bet there's a regular guy that's tried it. And the other thing, too, is just because you're famous, you still got to convert, right? It's like, Like we were talking about last night on a brand new episode of the podcast. They finally had those enhanced games, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you could take steroids and this and that, right? Well, it didn't really help. Like, even the baseball era. So you could juice up, but you still got to hit the ball.
Still got to be good, yeah.
Being famous will allow you to meet a lot more women, but you still got to, you know what I mean? Like, you still got to convert.
You got to have game.
Yeah.
I just feel like
this guy doesn't sound like he has game.
If I'm that famous, I'm like the mole on my penis trick. That seems like the last thing.
And if I was that famous, I'd have the mole on my penis removed.
That's the other thing.
Maybe it's your calling card.
Because now you can't show anyone the mole on your penis.
Mole man. You're mole man.
No.
What's up, mole man?
The thing is that there's somebody who knows who that is.
Man.
There's definitely people that know who this is.
Right, because you're right. Now it's a calling card. Everyone's going to be like, wait a minute, Steve's got a mole on his penis.
I couldn't find the mole on his penis either.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in this story are a little odd. Like your third dates at a hotel?
I mean, that's when you're rolling.
You whip out your penis on a patio?
Right. Just everything about it.
Oh, my God, the Ramada, look.
I mean, you had a suite and you whipped it out on the patio under the guise that they're.
I never thought I'd see that at a Ramada Inn.
They need to hire someone like, celebrity gamesman. Hey, man, I know you're famous, but you got to work on your game.
Yeah.
The mole under penis trick, that's weak.
Well, let's stick with, I guess, private part related stories.
All right.
Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey are doing a show on Apple TV called Brothers. And they acknowledged the rumor that they could be half brothers in real life. It's coming out this fall. Woody compares it to Curb Your Enthusiasm, saying, we play ourselves, but everything's fictionalized.
All right. Makes it easy. Just be you.
They're still going to smoke weed.
I bet you they do.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of funny. They get along very well. And like sometimes when you see pictures, like you guys could be.
They could be.
And there's some other deeper connection, right? Like
their Matthew McConaughey's mother basically flat out told him that.
Yeah,
I effed Woody Harrelson's dad.
Yeah, she's the one that kind of started it all by being very abrupt and upfront about it. Hey, see your friend there? I effed his father. You might be related.
Well, they should have called it.
He has a mole on his penis.
They should have called it Cheers to Dad. But it's called Brothers.
Yeah, but as the mom, you'd think she would know if she gave birth.
I'm about to say, it doesn't quite work in that direction.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Okay, she effed Woody Harrelson's dad.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's dad's not going to spit out Woody Harrelson at that point.
Right.
She knows if she gave birth to Woody Harrelson.
It might have been the reverse. It might have been Woody Harrelson's dad.
But why would she know? There's people that are like, hey, man, I need a paternity test because I slept with 400 different people, in this month. Now I'm pregnant. I just don't know that. So she might be saying, like, look, I slept with the dad. I don't know.
She's saying that her husband slept with Woody Harrelson's mother.
Okay.
That's what.
Okay.
Yes.
Good call. Right. Somebody, right. You'd have to know.
Doing guy math in here. Guy math for dumb people.
All right, Mike, or I was going to say, we were talking about earlier, you have game one of the NBA Finals tonight.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. I said yesterday the Vegas Golden Knights they've already won a title, so Vegas knows what they're doing. I still I think I'm cheering for the Knicks.
I am.
I think Wemby is going to go on. I think the Spurs are going to be good for a very long time.
Wemby's weird, man.
Well, because he's French?
Well, in addition to that.
But it is interesting, I don't know, San Antonio's kind of easy to cheer for, but for the Knicks fans, they will be obnoxious. But also, man, they've been waiting around since 1973.
But they're New Yorkers. They're just obnoxious by nature, but they're not necessarily mean. Like where Boston is obnoxious, and they'll tell you to go F your mother. New York, they'll break out F your mother if you earned it.
That's a good point.
So I'm like, they're obnoxious, but they mean no harm. Where Boston, I'm like, you guys are just mean.
You got game one tonight over on ABC if you want to watch that.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A man is facing charges after starting a fist fight at a kindergarten graduation.
Damn, man.
Meanwhile, a woman says her dog was the reason she was driving the wrong way and got a citation. Man passes accident, sees cops, and freaks out behind the wheel. A Tasmanian devil escapes the park looking for its next meal. And a dog gets a makeover after living with its dead owner. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
Our top story, Eureka! We go to California where the criminals don't know how to hide very well. An officer was on the scene of a traffic collision when they noted a driver passing the scene at a high rate of speed. Not a good idea going past a crash. They left the scene and tailed the car for a bit, observing several unsafe lane changes, as well as the car driving in the bike lane past vehicles for multiple blocks. They attempted to make a stop, but noticed that the driver was slow to yield, continuing down the road for several blocks before finally coming to a stop. The driver was taken into custody for reckless driving, and a quick check of the driver revealed he's currently on probation, and a subsequent search of their car turned up fentanyl and methamphetamine. All right.
That adds up.
That's the guy.
He's now in county facing charges.
So you decided to speed past the cops and drive in bike lane.
Exactly. Speed past the cops, drive erratically, all that fun stuff.
He didn't drive on the light rail tracks, at least.
Yeah, how's that going for him?
Jeez, no kidding, dude. That was...
I mean, the cops are looking at the accident, but it's not like they're not paying attention. You're just going to zoom by?
So you make it obvious.
Yeah.
Just drive by slow like everyone else. Rubberneck, act like you care, and then just keep going, man.
In other news, for more bad drivers, we find ourselves in Minnesota. Police were called to the scene of a deadly crash in which a red pickup truck was seen driving in the wrong lane of travel. According to witnesses, the truck had repeatedly crossed into oncoming traffic before colliding with a car and unfortunately killing the 82-year-old truck driver inside. Side note, you survive 82 years just to be taken out by some dummy.
Yeah.
Officers interviewed the pickup driver, who initially blamed her dog on the crash, saying that she was reaching for a treat when her dog grabbed at the wheel. The dog grabbed at the wheel.
No. You're driving the wrong way.
Did you see her mugshot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a dog.
She showed clear signs of impairment, though tested negative for alcohol. But she admitted to taking prescription medication before getting behind the wheel. Adderall and lorazepam.
Damn.
Yeah, right. You can drive impaired. It doesn't mean it's just alcohol.
Yes.
That's a hard-looking 34 years, too.
She's already...
She's 34?
I think so.
Good. What, does she have a time machine?
I don't know.
Where was this?
This is in Minnesota.
Wow.
She's already on probation for driving under the influence of drugs and now faces vehicular homicide charges for her latest outing. Way to show that you haven't learned a doggone thing.
Well, she'll have time to think about it in prison.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Boy, I didn't realize she was 34. I saw the mugshot, and I'm like, it's probably my age.
Like you said, that's some hard miles.
Yeah.
You're right. She's younger than you, Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, she's younger than me.
Yeah. Well, doesn't that make you guys feel better?
I mean, a little bit.
I don't know. I'm still concerned. Let's go to Pennsylvania, where folks can't seem to get along. A video is going viral that features a couple adults breaking into fisticuffs. This is stupid. It's not detailed what set the group off, but it's being classified as a domestic dispute, with the video showing a baby being in the middle of the scuffle. It's also worth noting that this whole ordeal went down at an elementary school graduation ceremony.
Come on.
I mean, my God.
Local authorities say the aggressor has been trespassed from the property, and the school issued a statement of formality. This behavior isn't tolerated, blah, 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 blah. Health and safety of everybody is top priority.
You don't have to tell us. We know.
I don't know if it had to do with the kid, because at one point somebody was trying to remove the baby from one of the guys. So I don't know if it's a give me my baby situation between baby daddy and baby mama. I don't know what all's going down. Why the kid's in the middle of this scuffle is...
That makes more sense.
Are they already scuffling and he has the kid? So in other words, did they try to get the kid before the scuffle breaks out, which maybe led to the scuffle, or are they already scuffling and dude's throwing punches with the one free hand?
Hope he sounded like fat bastard. Give me my baby. Give me my baby.
But a domestic makes more sense.
Right. And the problem with the drive-by media situation of just having a phone that comes out, the phone is not there for the entirety.
Right.
The phone shows up when the group is already...
When it gets good.
Right, they're at each other's throats. So we have no idea what set it off. We have no idea what they're fighting about. All we know is that there's a baby involved, and they fought at a doggone elementary school graduation.
That is a bad look, man.
Yeah, enjoy that. A reign of terror is about to unfold in Australia as the evildoer of Looney Tunes is free once again. Tracker dogs and thermal imaging drones have been deployed in the Queensland area as an investigation is underway to find the 2-year-old Tasmanian devil that escaped from her enclosure at a local park.
Those dogs want nothing to do with that.
No, they do not.
Like, it went that way.
It's over there.
Yeah.
Interesting fact about the Tasmanian devil. All right. The actual cartoon.
Yes.
Not the animal in Tasmania.
Okay.
It was one of the only Looney Tune characters that didn't have a direct interaction with another character. So, in other words, it would show up and spin around. It was like, there's Tweety Bird, and there's Sylvester, and there's, Roadrunner, and Coyote. Tasmanian Devil, he was completely 100% solo in his endeavors.
Not all the time, but originally.
Yeah.
Okay. They started, because when they first launched, keep in mind what they're doing at the time, and they said, man, the thing that makes this character stand out is he doesn't work with any of the cast of characters.
Yeah.
Like, you can do a solo cartoon. Then, because of that, they would try to give him, like, Yosemite Sam or something. But, like, trust me, brother was like a solo star.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But just in case those stories have a bad taste in your mouth,
Thankfully, there's good news.
we go to North Carolina where a pup has been given a second chance at life. Officers arrived at a local home to perform a welfare check on a resident that hadn't been heard from in a while. There's a reason. They broke in and found that the resident had passed, but they were not alone. Inside the house was also their 3 dogs who were in poor condition. One Cocker Spaniel seemed to be in the worst condition, having been found inside of a closed closet showing clear signs of neglect, likely for years.
Jesus.
They took him to a vet. The thing had a cone on there from a previous procedure. And there was so much, that's why it was so puffed up like that. And there's so much matted hair all over the place, right? So they lovingly named him Mr. Pickles, and they took him to a vet. They began the process of removing all that matted fur from his body.
Mr. Pick, F you.
I lived in a closet for 5 years. You're naming me Mr. Pickles?
After 5 hours, the doctors removed 12 pounds of fur from Mr. Pickles.
I thought it couldn't get any worse.
As well as performed a couple of procedures to bring him back to good health.
Now I'm Mr. Pickles.
They should have named him Liberace.
Now that he's recovering, they're beginning
living in a
efforts.
closet.
I don't think Liberace was in the closet, brother.
Oh.
Jesus. He was out front, you know what I mean?
I'm going to let you sit on that one, Ted. I'm going to let you just marinate with that. They're confident he's going to find a new family in short order. Liberace!
My hair's a mess.
Men's group sports, the NBA Finals have begun as San Antonio and New York face off for the final series that's currently underway over on ABC. The Mariners secured the series win with a big win against the Mets last night, and they will be on the road tomorrow as they make their way to Detroit for a weekend series against the Tigers. As far as your weather, clouds are clearing up a bit tonight, just partly with a low of 54, bringing us into tomorrow where they're expecting a little bit of morning cloud breaking up by the afternoon with a high of 66 once again. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you next time for a return of, what do we got here? Oh, yeah.
Meat potatoes?
Ted's meat potatoes. Jesus Christ. Big dummy and all that. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. It's all true, I think. But I don't know. But until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man.
A Double Flush production.
If you walk into a room and can't remember why, it could be nothing or something more. If you confuse a familiar recipe, it could be a slip-up. Or it could be associated with amyloid plaque buildup in the brain. Amyloid is a protein that your body produces naturally, but a buildup in the brain could lead to memory and thinking issues. To see what may be behind your memory and thinking issues, talk to your doctor about getting a full assessment. It's never too early to start the conversation. Visit amyloid.com to learn more.